Welcome back to Fox College Football presented by Geico, Amon G. Carter Stadium. We're ready for Oklahoma and TCU, a series that dates back to 1944. Time now to join the third member of our team on the sideline, Shannon Spake, who moments ago spoke to Oklahoma coach Bob Stoops.
Thanks, Gus. Well, Coach Stoops, regardless of how this season started, your goal is still the same, a Big 12 championship. How much sense of urgency do you feel today to keep that goal in front of you?
Well, a great sense of urgency. You know, we need to play up to our standards and the way we're capable of. We've played some good teams, but I still don't feel we've played like we can, and that's my job as the head coach to get it done. And we've got a great sense of urgency.
Baker Mayfield has told me that he's trying to control his emotions a little bit, but some say what makes Baker Baker is that fire. What kind of balance do you want to see out of him?
Yeah, just consistent play like he's capable of. He's been a great player for us, and I believe he'll do that.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Gus?
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. Here's Baker Mayfield, and this crowd ready to rock out. 82 degrees at kickoff time. Perfect day for college football here in Fort Worth, Texas. Rain, fortunately for us, Joel, is not in the forecast after Norman and Waco the last 2 weeks.
No delays this week. Here we go. Football time, baby.
TCU won the toss, deferred. Oklahoma to receive, and folks, you're going to see the dangerous one-back beat. Joe Mixon, 97-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against Ohio State a couple of weeks ago. And if he gets in the end zone this time, I would guarantee that he's going to cross the goal line before he drops the football.
He definitely dropped that ball on the 1-yard line. That's been addressed internally. Takes this one to the house. He'll be handing it to the official.
Cole Bunt sending it away. Joe Mixon lets that one trickle out of the back of the end zone, and Oklahoma will start from the 25. So, a couple of things you need to know when OU has the rock.
They come into this game banged up. After a bye week, offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley is going to have to shuffle around the offensive line. Jonathan Alvarez and Cody Ford, both starters, are out. That means Eric Wren and Ben Powers are in at center and left guard. And for TCU on the defensive side, they lead the Big 12 with 14 sacks. Their defensive ends, Josh Caraway and James McFarland, are exciting. They are athletic. They can get to the passer. As something to watch today.
So first down and 10 at the 25. Baker Mayfield, last time he hit the field, 17 of 32, 226, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks against the Ohio State Buckeyes. On first down, he hands it off to Joe Mixon. And they said they wanted to get him more touches in this game.
Joe Mixon has earned that. In the 2 losses against Houston and Ohio State, he only touched the ball offensively 11 times in each of those games. That needs to be up around 20 to 25 when you include special teams, and they get it off on the right foot, giving him the ball in the first snap.
14 touches, 225 yards, and a touchdown against the Buckeyes. A gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Mayfield near side, put it on a mark, and it's incomplete. Intended for Dede Westbrook. He had it in his hands, but good coverage by Ranthony Tejada.
Ranthony Tejada, Jr. from Frisco, Texas. He broke on this one beautifully. Gets right up into the hands of the wide receiver, Dede Westbrook. Just not quite enough velocity to throw that wide side out route. Dangerous throw from Mayfield.
So Mayfield faced with a 3rd down and 7 at the 28. Out of the gun, Joe Mixon in the backfield. He's a very good receiver as well. Mayfield in trouble. Mayfield lost the ball. Who's got it? TCU football. Denzel Johnson punched that ball loose.
The blitz is going to come way from outside of the tackle box. Watch this. The defender is outside of Mark Andrews, and then he starts to come. That's 30, Denzel Johnson. He's a safety. Mayfield a little careless with the ball, and then TCU winning the battle to get to the loose ball, and a huge play in turn of events here early for the TCU Horned Frog defense that has not played up to standards thus far in this season, but that is an excellent start here at home.
So Oklahoma turns the ball over on their first series of the game, giving TCU the football at the Sooner 18-yard line. Kenny Hill, Jr. from Southlake, Texas, transferred from Texas A&M, is the quarterback. Empty backfield. Here's Hill. He can sling it in the end zone. 6.
When you've got man-to-man coverage right here, you got to watch for inside leverage. This wide receiver is going to come, and he's going to break on this route inside, beats the corner to the end zone, and that's 6 points.
Third receiving touchdown of the year for Jalen Austin. Brandon Hatfield makes the extra point. TCU striking first. Fox College Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And is sponsored by AT&T, mobilizing your world. TCU Horned Frogs all business to start this game. The defense forces a turnover, and the offense pays it off as Jalen Austin catches his third touchdown of the season. He only has 6 catches all year. Kenny Hill picking up on where he left off last week in the second half against SMU. So Baker Mayfield will have to come back on the field. Ball security an issue early. Michael Jones, Joe Mixon back deep for the Sooners. This one out of the end zone once again. And the Sooners from the 25. And when you look at the season for Oklahoma, they're in some unfamiliar territory.
1-2 start to the season. First time since 2005. Of course, that was one of the first disappointing years that Bob Stoops had. 2 non-conference regular season losses by 10+ points. First time since before Bob Stoops arrived in Norman and unranked in the AP poll this week. First time in 26 polls. They need some leadership right now, and that's been a void from last year's team. Remember, Sterling Shepard and Eric Stryker, offensively and defensively, no longer there for Bob Stoops, and he's desperate to find one of these OU Sooners that can fill that leadership void.
First down, Mayfield sprints out of the pocket, squares his shoulders underneath, and incomplete. Remember, the Sooners were 11-2 last year, made the college football playoff, losing to Clemson 37-17 in the Orange Bowl.
And they lost a lot off of that team. And certainly one of the things that they're missing the most is Mayfield's favorite target from a year ago, Sterling Shepard, who's doing some good things in the NFL right now, but they need that #1 receiving threat on the outside. Right now, too many defenses are able to load up on their run game.
Second down and 10 at the 25. Mayfield, he'll run the football straight ahead with some space, and he'll slide down at the 35 and pick up a first down.
Excellent block there from Joe Mixon. I love it when running backs are unselfish. He leads right up in front of Mayfield. Got the middle linebacker, Trevon Howard, on an excellent block.
Third down and 1, they call it. He didn't get the first down, and this is Mixon who skips forward and picks up the first down. Very interesting storylines for Baker Mayfield and his on-again, off-again relationship with Gary Patterson, the head coach at TCU.
Well, it was very public and messy before the bowl game last year, but they're not thinking about that now.
They throw that one out wide. Michael Jones.
You know, Baker was recruited pretty heavily, but not offered a scholarship from TCU or the other schools, is what Gary points out. And Baker Mayfield plays with a chip on his shoulder. Yeah, and that's okay. And Gary Patterson, he coaches with a chip on his shoulder, and I think that's why you saw some of those fireworks.
Second down and 3 at the 45. Here's a handoff, Mixon. And Mixon short of the first down. Mayfield saying that he was offered a scholarship by TCU, but then Gary pulled it off the table.
Well, there was some kind of
left him in the lurch.
Yeah, there was things going on. Casey Paul was a quarterback at the time, and he was going through some rehab issues. And listen, there's all sorts of things, but here's where it's ended up. It's worked out great for both people. Baker Mayfield, last year Heisman contender, and now looking forward to continue this drive here.
Third down and 1 at the 47. And the handoff to Mixon. He's chopped down in the backfield by James McFarland before he can get to that first down marker. So that will bring up a 4th down, a decision to be made for the Sooners.
And McFarland's so quick around the edge. No one getting there. They tried to pull that left guard out. That's Ben Powers getting his first start. Transferred from Butler Community College, and he was unable to get to the edge and get the very fast James McFarland on the ground.
So Austin Seibert will come in to punt it away. He stands at the 32, and Desmond White, who's been in for the injured Cavante Turpin, who misses another game because of a knee injury. High spiraling punt. And that one goes dead inside the 5. Terrific punt by Austin Seibert, 50 yards. But can they deal with this man? Don't call him Trill. Just call him Kenny Hill. It's been a football odyssey for this young man, Kenny Hill. He followed Johnny football at Texas A&M, went from being a starter in the SEC to a very public arrest for public intoxication, to being benched, to losing his scholarship, to Tarrant County Junior College, to being TCU's practice squad quarterback, to replacing Trevon Boykin. First down and 10. And Joel, I know you talk to these kids and research. What does he learn from this experience?
I think first and foremost is that your opportunities are fickle, you know, and they can go away. And I think that some of the chaos at Texas A&M led to his behavior, but he got it back together, went to junior college, and he's appreciative of this opportunity. You can tell by the sense of urgency with which he studies. He's a classroom junkie, and he's played very well so far.
Second down and long, near side. This is Hicks. And Hicks, he's wrestled down at the 7-yard line. Stephen Parker making the tackle.
This OU defense is down 4 starters. Matt Diamond up front, Tay Evans, Parrish Cobb, and Will Johnson. And so you're going to have some guys having to step up in some very precarious spots and try to highlight some of these players that are filling in as backups as the game goes on.
They spread the field, 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 3rd down and 6 at the 8-yard line. Hill, here comes a blitz, fires, caught. First down, TCU. Once again, Jalen Austin, who caught the touchdown after the turnover, picks up 11 yards.
You know, a word that's not often used for quarterback play is courage. Sometimes you got to stand in there when you know you're about to get hit right in the face and throw something out to the outside part of the field, and that's exactly what Kenny Hill was able to do on the last play.
So a first down at the 19. Second series for TCU. Play fake, deep drop, Hill in trouble, and Hill sacked inside the 5. Capri Doucette, next man up for Oklahoma, coming up with the big play.
And Capri Doucette is one of those backups starting for Will Johnson as the outside linebacker, and he comes on the blitz and was completely unblocked. Missed assignment for TCU up front. Kenny Hill certainly thought that he was going to be protected and clearly was not.
A loss of 14. Backed all the way up. Ball at the 5, 2nd and 24. Hicks. And Hicks will get back to the original line of scrimmage as he crosses the 20. Jordan Thomas, Ahmad Thomas combining on the tackle.
What a great play right there. Get almost half, more than half of what you needed back, and it just sets up such a manageable situation now. Now this is more of a normal 3rd down. Clearly frustrating for Bob Stoops and that OU defense.
3rd down and 9. Empty backfield for Hill. Here's Hill with time. Picked off! Oklahoma, Stephen Parker with the interception, and that's their first interception of the season.
They needed a secondary player to make a play like they needed air to breathe, and they get it from Stephen Parker. TCU fans are sick of seeing number 10. He's the man that batted down the 2-point conversion late in last year's game and gave Oklahoma the victory, and now coming up with the huge turnover here early on the road. Desperate need of a play, and they get it from Stephen Parker, the junior from Tulsa.
So Oklahoma now with the football at the 18. Each team with the turnover. Samaje Perine checks in at running back. And they'll give it to him straight ahead. Perine almost popped that one free as he finally falls down to the 10.
And Perine and Mixon have become kind of a thunder and lightning combination. Samaje Perine so big and physical. Very difficult for secondary players to get him to the ground.
A year ago against TCU, Perine, 26 carries, 188, including a 72-yard touchdown. Perine again skips through the hole, runs over one man and crawls inside the 5. And that's a first down as Nick Orr finally chops him down.
Just excellent vision. He finds that backside cutback lane, but this is that spot. First and goal. OU's got to punch it into the end zone. Can't settle for a field goal.
Ryan, the pistol back. This time he runs right. Cuts inside. And Ryan, not much room on that right side as he gains a yard. Nico Small, Aaron Curry combining on the tackle. James McFarland also in on the play.
When you got backups in on offensive line inside the 5, it becomes so difficult to get movement. This is where a split flex tight end like Mark Andrews becomes so dangerous. This is a guy they love to throw the ball to in the end zone. Here he is, top of your screen in the slot.
Second down and goal at the 4. This time it's Mayfield looking for the end zone. Spins, breaks a tackle, lowers his shoulder, and gets in. Baker Mayfield bulldozing Horned Frogs, hell-bent to get into the end zone.
What a block he's going to get from Dimitri Flowers. Flowers is right here. He's going to go across, lead for Baker Mayfield, and he's just going to stay on his man the entire time. Mayfield gives him a little extra push at the end to Nico Small, number 2 from TCU.
So each team capitalizing off turnovers as Mayfield runs the football in from 4 yards away. Seibert, the extra point is good. 7:39 to play in the first quarter. We're level at 7 here in Fort Worth. The OU defense finally pulling one down, and Mayfield makes the Horned Frogs pay. First quarter game tied at 7. Let's take a look at some of Joel's top draft prospects in the Fox 50 sponsored by Sprint.
Samaje Perine, number 40. He's a guy that they are all over as far as the NFL scouts. Now, I think Joe Mixon, Charles Walker from Oklahoma, and even John Diar's from TCU. These guys are going to get in the mix as well. But right now, Perine, it's his power, it's his ability to create that has scouts buzzing a little bit right now.
Call 1-800-SPRINT-1 or visit sprint.com. The switch. Isaiah Graham back deep. Seibert sends it away. This ball from the goal line up to the 20-yard line as Dahu Green comes up with the tackle. Isaiah Graham on the return.
This offense gets set to come back on the field. They're going to be facing a defense that is going to have a little confidence for maybe the first time all year.
The Sooners were one of only 7 teams in the country without an interception through last week's games.
And they had only gotten 2 fumbles. 2 turnovers for a team that normally plays such great defense and is so aggressive. Is just not going to cut it through 3 games. And they needed a play from the secondary. Got it on the last drive from Stephen Parker.
First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Hicks the single setback with Kenny Hill. They run the option. The pitch, Hicks. And he'll get out of bounds at the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. Emmanuel Beal, the junior who was also up in the starting lineup today, comes up with the tackle.
Yeah, he and Capri Doucette are both junior college transfer from Lackawanna College. And Emmanuel Beal has gotten more and more time as Tay Evans, the starter, has been out, missing some time. And Emmanuel continues to get better. He's a good hybrid style of defender in the second level.
2nd and 7 at the 23. Hill underneath. And the ball caught. Taj Williams breaks it back. What a nice run after the catch. And Williams gets out of bounds at the 36, a gain of 14. Ahmad Thomas chasing.
This Oklahoma defense loves to play man-to-man coverage on the outside. And when you do that, the onus is on those corners. That time, Micaiah Quick, number 16, junior from Fresno, in order to tackle in space in one-on-one situations. If they miss those tackles, all of a sudden it turns into a big play and a conversion.
First down at the 38-yard line. Hicks. Patient, sets up his block, and gets to the 45. Khalil Houghton chops him down.
You had it perfectly on that call. Great patient run from Hicks. Just allowed his offensive line to work.
Oklahoma not set on D. Wide open receiver. Taj Taj Williams makes the catch and goes down at the 15. A 40-yard completion.
We've seen this all year from Oklahoma, an inability to adjust. They come out with a bit of a trick formation, some offensive line out wide, lined up as wide receivers, and Kenny Hill makes them pay with Taj Williams down the field.
First down at the OU 15. Hill stays on his feet, throws on the move, and incomplete. Inside the 5, Taj Williams had a step.
Boy, and if this ball is just a little bit shorter, Taj Williams might be able to stay on his feet, and he winds up in the end zone. That's the importance of ball placement, but they get the completion nonetheless, set themselves up here inside the red area.
Second down and 10 at the 15. Williams caught 11 balls for 158 yards against South Dakota State this year. Kenny Hill, quick fire, underneath, caught, first down, Ty Slanina, the junior from East Bernard, Texas.
Man-to-man coverage and just way too much space given to the TCU wide receivers right now.
Horned Frogs quickly, Hicks turns a corner, sidesteps and gets out of bounds inside the 5.
Good play on the edges there. The outside linebacker, Obo Okoronkwo, number 31, as well as on the outside, Micaiah Quick, the corner, forcing that ball out of bounds. Excellent job there from the Sooners defense.
Second and goal at the 3-yard line. Hill rolling out underneath, caught, touchdown. Nicely done, Cole Hunt.
Here's the matchup. Man-to-man coverage, and the linebacker is just going to get beat to the flat. 81 just takes off, ends up in his hands, and that's an easy touchdown for Cole Hunt.
Cole Hunt, a backup wide receiver, also playing on special teams. Brandon Hatfield, the walk-on, left-footed kicker. Extra point is good. 5:29 to play. First quarter, 14-7, TCU. Fox College Football is sponsored by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy. And by Pacific Life, helping generations of families achieve long-term financial security for over 145 years. Kenny Hill has already thrown to 5 different receivers in the first 9.5 minutes. As you take a look at the scoring drive, 8 plays covering 80 yards. They score quickly, 204. And the thing about Hill, according to the website Pro Football Focus, Hill has been victimized by 17 drops this season.
That's one of the things the coaches talked about, and they haven't had those early in this game. It's one of the big reasons why they're off to this fast start, which they've needed desperately. They haven't gotten out to a fast start all year. Didn't score against Arkansas. Didn't have a touchdown against SMU last week.
Nixon backpedaling, not given an opportunity. And here are the Go RVing sights and sounds from this beautiful TCU campus on the amazing atmosphere here at Amon G. Carter Stadium. Did you know, Joel Clark, that there is a 6-to-1 ratio, a very important stat on this campus?
I did not. What is that?
6-to-1, young ladies to young men.
Well, they say young ladies are smarter than men. It's a beautiful campus.
And that's why if you're a guy, you want to come here. First down and 10 at the 25. Mayfield, here's the reverse. Westbrook looking for a hole. And he gets to the 30. L.J. Collier with the tackle for the Horned Frogs.
They're going with Joe Mixon, 25, back in the ball game after P-Ryan gave him some positive yardage in the run game on the last series.
Second down and 6 at the 29. Joe Mixon in at running back now. They'll give it to him. Mixon caught before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Nicely done, Denzel Johnson, who forced the fumble early.
You know, Baker's going to read this out. I want you to watch 36 Dimitri Flash because he's going to be wide open. If that's a run-pass option, the quarterback's got to pull that ball out and actually throw it over the linebacker's head because they stopped and were waiting for that run play, giving that pass read to Baker Mayfield.
3rd down and 9 to the 26. Mayfield, quarterback draw, gets to the 30, still on his feet, picks up the first down. Baker Mayfield down the sidelines and out of bounds inside TCU territory. What a run, but a flag on the play.
You know, that looked like it was maybe holding out there on the outside on the wide receiver, but I think he's going to have the yardage for the first down.
Holding offense, number 18, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
Yeah, replay the down, obviously. And 18 out there. That's Dede Green. And there's the hand on the outside of the shoulder. Pretty clear call from the officials. Brings back a big play from Oklahoma.
So it wipes out a 28-yard gain. 3rd down and 6 at the 29. Mayfield looking in trouble, breaks a tackle, throws, caught and out of bounds. And now they call it an incomplete pass. Dede Green couldn't hold on.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. 4th down.
The coverage was excellent down the field. That's why Mayfield had to hold on to that ball. And you can't fault him for throwing that just a little bit inside because he was running for his life back there. He's trying to give Dede Green the best ball he possibly can. And Dede Green just unable to bring it down. Excellent coverage there.
Jeff Gladney.
Yeah.
So Seibert, his first punt, 49 yards. Desmond White, the deep man. Seibert booms another kick. White backpedaling, has it at the 22-yard line and goes down immediately. Nice special teams coverage, a 49-yard punt and a 1-yard return. Coming up next, Arizona State takes on USC at 8:30 Eastern on Fox, or watch live on Fox Sports Go. USC, Texas, LSU, 3 powerhouse teams that are struggling this season.
Well, you can even throw in OU, 1 and 2 to start. Notre Dame started 1 and 3. Some real blue bloods that have struggled out of the gate this year. And just goes to show you the amount of parity in college football. You know, everybody's getting large sums of money from the television contracts in their conferences. Everybody's building great facilities and hiring good quality coaches and coaching staffs that can recruit. As evidence, you know, you've got a lot of good teams out there.
1st down and 10 at the 23. Kenny Hill, 7 for 9, 102, 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. Hill slings it out of the backfield. Darius Anderson. And he's stopped by Ahmad Thomas. Late flag thrown.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 26, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
It's Jordan Evans.
Yeah, and there was some shoving and pushing going on right here in the middle of your screen. He pulls the face mask down of number 9. That's John Diarse, a graduate transfer from LSU, and Evans gets that personal foul. He's voted one of the team captains, but again, that leadership void. OU still trying to find those guys that are going to step up and be leaders.
Look for Kenny Hill to go for Diarse. Here's Hill down the field and incomplete. That one intended for Jalen Austin. Jordan Thomas covering.
Jordan Thomas is the corner for Oklahoma that has provided them some stability. You know, they're trying to figure it out on the other side between Dakota Austin, Parrish Cobb, who's not playing today, the true freshman due to injury, and Micaiah Quick. But Jordan Thomas has been their best defender so far in the back end, and they're going to need him to play huge today.
2nd down and 10. Hill. Flushed out of the pocket. Turns. Fires on the move. And incomplete. Desmond White couldn't keep both feet in bounds.
Desmond White is your replacement for Kevontae Turpin. Kevontae Turpin has been down for a couple of weeks. He's a great special teams player, but also a great slot receiver. He's only about 5'8", 156 pounds. So who replaces him? Desmond White, 5'7", 150 pounds. This guy could walk under a table and not have to duck.
White shared the Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week award against SMU. He averaged almost 25 yards on 3 punt returns. 3rd and 10 at the 39. Hill is playing with a great rhythm. Low snap, handle, Hill. Underneath, caught, Hicks. Breaks 2 tackles, turns it back at the 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Horned Frogs. 61 big ones. I tell you what, they may have to dust off that Trill nickname again here at Fort Worth.
Give the ball to playmakers in space, and good things will happen. 4 missed tackles from Oklahoma on this. Just an easy little over route from the running back spot. There's 1, 2, 3 Sooners that have a chance. And then at the tail end of this play, Hicks with a great cutback right here. A missed tackle, and then he cuts back, gets in the end zone.
Hill with his 3rd touchdown pass in the 1st quarter. Hatfield in for the extra point. And it's good. You can see the preparation for Kenny Hill. He knows where his guys are at all times. And right now, the Horned Frogs taking the big lead. You're looking at a well-prepared quarterback.
Kenny Hill, like I said, he's a gym rat. He loves to learn the nuances of this system. And Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, co-offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, said he's a very different style of player than Trevon Boykin was. Boykin was so athletic and so good that he only needed to go through about 1 or 2 reads in his progression before he could just go out and make a play with his feet. Kenny Hill, though, he utilizes the entirety of the offense. All 5 wide receivers have a chance to get the ball. That's why the backs have become such a bigger threat offensively. And Kyle Hicks showed you on the last play why it's so dangerous.
Kyle Bunce has done a nice job not allowing Joe Mixon to get his hands on the football on kickoffs. So Baker Mayfield now down 2 touchdowns. Coming back on the field, 2:42 to go in the 1st quarter. This turning out to be a classic Big 12 type game. A lot of points.
You know, there's going to be a lot of people you're going to hear in the next week or so talk about how defenses are just at an all-time low. And certainly that is the case statistically, and tackling is poor. But I would just remind you that the rules of the game on the field, as well as the legislation of contact out of the practice arena, is also leading to some of this porous defense that we're seeing throughout the country.
1st down and 10 at the 25. P-Ryan. And he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Aaron Curry, first man to him. Senior from Keller, Texas.
Along those lines, as you're talking about Curry on the defensive line, the quality defenses in the country right now, what do? They play great at the line of scrimmage. Defensive line play is at an all-time high as far as importance goes, because you've got to control the tempo of the game, and right now TCU's been able to do that.
2nd down and 10 to the 25. P. Ryan again with a lot of running room. P. Ryan picking him up and putting him down, and he goes down at the TCU 45. Nico Small with the tackle after a 30-yard pickup.
Well, what a great run, a great concept. They pull a couple of offensive linemen, kind of trap the defensive linemen. P. Ryan with great vision, and now they won the battle on the last play, move them off the defensive line, and get a big hole for their very good back, Samaje P. Ryan.
1st and 10 at the 46. P. Ryan again. And P. Ryan gets to the 44, maybe the 43. Ty Summers with the tackle. The TCU defense ranked 44th in the nation in rushing defense, giving up 130 yards a game.
I think even more importantly, though, 2nd in the Big 12, 30th in the country, giving up under 4 yards per carry.
2nd down and 8. Play fake, near side. Westbrook with a block. Westbrook turns it on. Westbrook down inside the TCU 20-yard line. Nice burst of speed for a gain of 27.
Just an excellent block. First, on the edge right there by Dimitri Flowers. Getting in front of Anthony Tejada, number 11 in the corner. That's what opens up that space for Dede Westbrook.
First down to the 18. Samaje Perine. And Perine gets close to the 15-yard line before being taken down. Ty Summers with the tackle.
And a good drive here for this offensive line. You know, they hadn't gotten much going yet in this game. Had the turnover to start on their opening drive, but you got to credit these guys. Remember, Eric Wren, former walk-on, awarded a scholarship on Monday, number 58, starting at the center position. Ben Powers, a backup, number 72. He's starting. This is a mashed-up offensive line trying to win the line of scrimmage here against TCU.
Empty backfield for Baker Mayfield on 2nd and 8. Mayfield looks far side, delivers, and they'll get inside the 10. Nick Basquin with the reception. So Baker Mayfield, here's a man that started his career at Texas Tech, transferred, came to Oklahoma. Last year, 4th in the Heisman voting, Offensive Player of the Year. And right now, he's trying to lead the Sooners down the field.
That's the end of the
first quarter. High-scoring affair. TCU, OU. (21-7) TCU leading Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary.
I think the yards per play is what just jumps out to me. TCU almost 10 yards per play. They've had some big strikes, but Oklahoma battling back here. Both teams have put themselves in precarious situations, giving the opposing team a short field offensively. But now on a long drive, so vital that Oklahoma can get this into the end zone. This 3rd down, most important play of this game so far.
Sooners need a yard. They're 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions here in the first half. Perine and Mixon line up with Baker Mayfield in the backfield. Perine. No, Mayfield pulls it. Looks. Touchdown as he skips in. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day.
This is a great read from Baker Mayfield. He's going to put his eyes all over the safety. And as soon as that safety crashes down to the line of scrimmage, he's gone. Mixon with a great block, and Mayfield with his 2nd touchdown of the day.
Seibert in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. 14:54 to go in the 2nd quarter. 21-14. Nice response from OU.
And I love what they did offensively there by getting both of those good backs in the backfield. It forced them to have to honor that fake as we take a look at some of those early game headlines. Baylor was in just a shootout in Ames, Iowa, winning on a last-second field goal, 45-42. Oklahoma State. We saw them a week ago. Partner, I thought offensively they kind of came of age in that game. Unable to get some points late in the red zone, but they got them today against Texas, 49-31, and Ohio State. We saw them 2 weeks ago. Be hard-pressed to find a better team in the country. I think Alabama is obviously very good, but Ohio State and that young team for Urban Meyer with Joe Thomas Berry. 21 of 29. This guy is the ultimate point guard. That's a dangerous team.
As Oklahoma found out a couple of weeks ago. Baker Mayfield leading the way for OU as he scores his 2nd touchdown of the first half. Seibert ready to kick it off. Isaiah Graham, the deep man, and this one out of the end zone. So Kenny Hill has been sensational early on.
His progressions are open for him. He reads through them. He's playing with the defense with his eyes, and then he's getting his playmakers the ball in space. He puts it right on their frame. He gives it to them and an opportunity to run. You know, yards after the catch, they happen because of two things: timing and ball placement. And Kenny Hill has been excellent with both of those so far today.
You've been harping on that ball placement all season.
Well, it's important for yards after the catch, in particular when you're going to throw the ball between the hash marks or between the numbers. You got to frame them up and give your wide receivers or backs the opportunity to run after the catch. Plus, you allow them to protect themselves with their arms around their rib cage.
First down option. Hill keeps it, breaks the tackle, reverses his field, and finally goes down in the backfield. Nicely done, Jordan Evans with pursuit.
You know, watching film of this OU defense in the last two series, and I know TCU has moved the ball up and down the field a little bit, but they're playing with more energy than I've seen them play all year. They've made some mistakes in one-on-one situations, but the pursuit is better than I've seen thus far in this season.
A loss of 7. Second down and 17. Hill up the sideline and broken up. Great defense for OU. This time it's quick, just batting it away. Taj Williams, the intended receiver.
And that's the play that they've been having such a hard time with. The go route, the fade, the one-on-one situation outside. They haven't had a corner step up and make a play.
And a timeout called by OU. 14-10 to go, second quarter.
Oklahoma
Back to Fort Worth right after
takes the
this.
first timeout of the half. Media timeout.
21-14 TCU. As the Horned Frogs are faced with a third down and 17 at the 18-yard line.
It's a great opportunity for Oklahoma's defense. Get a stop, get their ball back to their offense.
The flag on the play.
False start. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
It's Joseph Noteboom.
Left tackle just twitched a little bit out of his stance, draws the flag, and makes this an even more precarious third down option. You know, this is, as a quarterback, Kenny Hill's made great decisions all day. You can't force the ball down the field in this decision. Take the open man. A punt is not a bad play here on fourth down.
Third down and 22. Hill steps up in the pocket, throws on the run. Ball caught, but not enough for the first down. As Deontay Gray catches it, but you can see a better effort on the part of the Sooners. They have players-only meetings this week. The defense met separately, the offense met separately, and they tried to stress better energy in practice.
Well, you saw it on that last series. I talked about the pursuit. You're seeing more Oklahoma defenders around the ball, and a huge stop for them here within a possession and getting the ball back.
Adam Nunez comes in to punt it away from the 10. Joe Mixon at the 32. And Mixon. Oh, and he's hit before he caught the ball. Did not signal for a fair catch. A flag is on the play, and Mixon got his bell rung. Paul Whitmell, backup linebacker, playing special teams. He may have gotten there early.
He absolutely got there early. The ball hit him on the back.
And this may be targeting.
Kick catch interference with targeting. Kicking team number 44. That 15-yard penalty, that plays under further review.
This is absolutely the correct call. And this is the style of hit that we do need out of the game. I have been on record for being fairly outspoken against the ejection for the targeting foul, but Gus, I believe that there's two very different types of targeting. Targeting that is somewhat incidental, and then this where it looks like there is more intent with the targeting, and this should absolutely be upheld in my estimation.
We now join our rules analyst, Mike Pereira. Mike.
Couldn't agree with you more, Joel. You've got a crown of the helmet. By the way, they've redefined crown of the helmet as anything over the upper part of the face mask. And remember, Mike DeFee said two things here. It had interference with the opportunity with targeting.
After further review, The ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 44 has disqualified himself.
So Paul Whitmill ejected from the game.
You know, Joel, and the point of this with his comment, when he said interference with the opportunity with targeting, that means actually that he had 2 fouls, that even if they took the targeting off, they still would have the interference with the opportunity. But Mike DeFee was right on top of this, and his crew. Can't lead with the crown of your helmet against the receiver of a kick. That receiver of the kick is deemed to be a defenseless player. All right, thank you very much, Mike, as Oklahoma takes over at the 47-yard line for Baker Mayfield. Down by 7. Samaje Perine in the backfield. Near side, ball caught. Jones, and it'll go out of bounds. Learned a lot about Mike Pereira earlier this week. Great article in the Wall Street Journal about his days playing in the Alaskan League, how he loved to go fishing and enjoying his life.
That's one of the things I love talking about with Mike is our old baseball days, you know. But Mike Pereira, plain and simple, he's the best in the business, and we're fortunate to have him here at Fox, and you, the viewer, are fortunate to have him as well. No one explains the rules of this difficult game better than Mike Pereira.
2nd down and 9 at the 48. Mayfield with time underneath. Mixon with the catch. Almost broke the tackle, stays on his feet and gets the 1st down inside the TCU 40.
And now you're starting to see the energy for Oklahoma. The tempo of their offense. They get a couple of defensive stops, and now here come the Sooners on offense.
Mayfield running the football. Mayfield gets down the sidelines, lowers his shoulder, and crosses the 30. Another 1st down for Oklahoma.
And something we haven't seen early in this season is Mayfield as a designed runner, and that's clearly opened things up for them offensively so far. His ability to threaten the defense on the outside has been sensational thus far.
Mayfield 6 carries, 36 yards, and 2 scores. 1st and 10 of the 28. He'll throw it this time. Looking all day, Mayfield. And he'll just throw this one into the dirt. Mixon, the closest man to the football.
Great coverage.
Quarterback was outside the pocket. Ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage. However, number 25 was in the vicinity. 2nd down.
And that's just when you're a quarterback, you got to understand your wide receivers, where they're at, where you can burn the football, where you can't burn the football. And he did the smart thing, throwing it at Joe Mixon's feet there in order to live to play another down here.
21-14 TCU. Oklahoma playing with great rhythm now. 2nd down. Mayfield fires in the end zone. Andrews, incomplete. That one thrown high. Mark Andrews had a couple of steps on the nearest defender.
This guy is one of the best inside route runners I've seen in a long time, but he kind of slowed down and then turns and backpedals. Gus, if he just continues running, he might run through that ball and have an opportunity to catch it there. I thought Mayfield gave him a nice opportunity down the field. He had to throw with a little height.
3rd down and 10 of the 28. Mayfield to Perine. Perine with space, turns the corner, breaks it inside, still on the move, Samaje Perine. 1st down OU on 3rd and 10. He gets 16.
This is a complete break of tendencies. They do not run the football on 3rd down, and they do here for a big conversion.
Quick strike as they get to the line of scrimmage. Jordan Smallwood. Oklahoma likes to play fast.
They do, and this is the area of the field where they've really exploited TCU with Mayfield as a runner.
4-yard gain. Perine straight ahead. Samaje Perine turning. Touchdown OU. Perine gets in.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was on top of players, stuck the ball across the plane of the goal line for a touchdown.
Great description from Mike DeFee, our head referee today, and he's absolutely right. Samaje Perine was on top of his own player right there. Orlando Brown, the big left tackle from Duluth, Georgia.
Is under further review.
They'll take a look, but it certainly seemed on our replays and even live, Gus, that he was on top of his left tackle, reaching the ball out over the goal line.
I like the patience that the official showed in making that call.
Making sure that he was indeed on top of players, didn't have anything down, conferred with one another. As we take a look, there's 78 Brown. He goes down and Perine lands right on top of him. No part of his body is down, and as he reaches up and over, he's still not down. That's absolutely the right call. See that right hip still not down. His right leg wasn't down, reaching across the goal line. Breaks it with the football. What a great drive from OU. And we talked about Mayfield opening things up with his...
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Mayfield's ability to run the ball in those situations, well, guess what happens? The inside run game starts to open up because Gary Patterson and that defense have to be worried about Mayfield on the outside, and you see Perine go in from about 8 yards.
Third rushing touchdown of the season. Samaje Perine, 9 carries, 71 yards in the first half of football. Austin Seibert, extra point, good. 21 apiece, 11:18 to go, second quarter. Oklahoma responding in a big way. Fox College Football presented by Geico is sponsored by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next gen network.
Please set the game clock to 11.
Samaje Perine with his third rushing touchdown of the season. He knocks the game up 21 apiece here in the second quarter. And since going up 21-7, TCU has given up a touchdown, went backwards on its own drive, picked up a personal foul on the punt, and gave up another touchdown. OU has gone 75 and 53 yards for touchdowns in the last 2 possessions. Isaiah Graham, the deep man.
Almost feels like tennis, Gus. Breaking serve. You know, you can break it one time and get right back in the game now, 21 all.
Only one loss on the season for these Horned Frogs. That's coming in double overtime to Arkansas. And this one bobbled by Isaiah Graham, and he will not return it. Let's go downstairs to Shannon Spake.
Well, Gus, you were talking about that players-only meeting for Oklahoma. Ahmad Thomas, senior safety, he was one of the guys who called that meeting together. He called it internal issues, saying not everyone was buying in. And listen, we need to talk about things that we don't get to talk about on the practice field. Dedication, motivation from within. I will tell you this, however, one guy that has bought in is that guy right there, Joe Mixon. Every time he comes onto the sideline, he has energy. He's getting these guys fired up. Joel, you talking about leadership on this team, he has his name at the top of the list.
They need it. They need it desperately. After a start at 1-2, you're down 21-7. There's only so much the coaches can do at that point. You need players to step up and lead your team back, and they've done that so far.
First down, though, for Kenny Hill and the Horned Frogs at the 25. Hill, the thrower, under pressure, steps up, down the field, and incomplete. Intended for Deontay Gray. That one thrown a little short. Jordan Thomas covering for OU.
And that's the most difficult play for a defensive back, is when that ball is thrown a little short. Because you're going to see he's got to turn to his left and then adjust to the ball back to his left-hand side. And Jordan Thomas is able to do it. And you're starting to see the confidence grow with this Sooner secondary.
Oklahoma's defense playing with alacrity here in the second quarter. 2nd and 10 at the 25. Showing blitz. Here they come. Hill decides to run it, gets outside, stays on his feet and tiptoes out of bounds at the 37. First down, TCU.
Great formation. You've only got 3 Sooners basically on that side of the field, and you've got 3 blockers with the guard, tackle, and the back in the backfield, number 81, Cole Hunt. That's just ratio football at its finest from coordinator Doug Meacham and Sonny Cumbie.
13-yard gain, 1st and 10 at the 38. This time they give it to Travorris Johnson. Johnson trying to get around the left side of the power. Not a lot of room. That's because big number 92, Matt Romar, the redshirt junior, was there.
And Matt Romar is a guy they were really excited to get back. He's been struggling with injuries, did not play against Ohio State. He really helps their depth on the inside to try to keep them fresh at that defensive tackle spot. And at 304 pounds, he's certainly a force.
2nd and 9. Hill hands it off. Hicks. Romar again.
Just tough to move him out of there. Big 300-pounder. Doing an excellent job so far and forcing another 3rd down opportunity.
5-yard gain. Brings up 3rd down and 4 for TCU. Hill has done a great job finding his receivers underneath. Oklahoma showing blitz. Now they back out of it. Hill underneath, caught, 1st down. Jalen Austin.
They were showing tight coverage with a pressure, Gus, like you said, but as they backed out, they also backed away from the receiver and gave way too much cushion. You see Jordan Thomas starting to run away from the line of scrimmage. That's an easy completion and an easy conversion there for Kenny Hill.
Jalen Austin, 3 catches, 36 yards and a touchdown. 1st down and 10 at the 49. Here's a handoff to Hicks. Hicks breaking inside and finally spins down to the 36-yard line. Houghton with the tackle, but it's a 13-yard pickup.
And Obo Okoronkwo, he's going to jump all the way inside. He's the player that needs to be on the edge. He jumps all the way inside, gets blocked inside. Hicks reads it beautifully.
Hicks again. Stop and start, gets out of bounds at the OU 30.
I like the quicks of Hicks.
Oh, okay, Walt Frazier.
He's got a little suddenness to him.
Joel Klatt rhyming in the booth now, folks. We've come a long way in a year.
You've rubbed off, my friend. Like osmosis.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. 2nd and 5 to the 31. 3 receivers at the bottom. Slanita in the slot. He's crafty. Hill over the middle and incomplete. That time Taj Williams was the intended receiver, but I love the poise and the fluidness that Kenny Hill is playing with.
Yeah, even on these 3rd down situations, nothing seems to rattle him. He just goes through his progression and he finds the easy completion. You know, he's been fairly stress-free in this ball game, save for a couple of pressures and sacks that he's taken when OU has actually dialed up the blitz.
3rd down and 5 to the 31. Empty backfield for Hill and a whistle at the timeout called by the Sooners. 8:26 to go. That's the 2nd timeout called by Oklahoma.
2nd timeout of the half. Immediate timeout.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, Michigan in pursuit of their first top 10 win since 08. A SEC East showdown in Athens. Can the Vols rally again? And who's the team to beat in the Big 12? Is TCU earning some votes today? Gus, Joel, we'll see you at the break.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Baylor, top 25 team, managed to win at Iowa State.
Don't sleep on Kansas State.
You keep saying that.
They are good defensively. They're in a great ball game. Great on all 3 levels.
3rd down and 5 to the 31 for TCU. The handoff to Hicks, and he will not get the 1st down. Great run stop by Matt Romar.
Well, now you know why Bob Stoops was so excited to get Matt Romar back. They have been a different team stopping the run thus far in this ballgame. TCU's going for it here.
TCU going for it off 4th down and 4. Empty backfield for Hill. He can run. Here's Hill to throw. And knocked down. Great job by Charles Walker. And TCU turns the ball over on downs. The Oklahoma defense stepping up. Under 8 to play. 21 apiece. Fox College Football is sponsored by Allstate. Proud supporters of college football. It's good to be in good hands. And by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. 21-21 as we take a look at the KFC stat comparison.
Both quarterbacks, I felt like, have really found a rhythm. Kenny Hill more so through the air than with his feet, but Baker Mayfield, he's been terrific through the air at times, but it's been his rushing ability, those 2 touchdowns that really jump-started this offense.
First down and 10 at the 30-yard line for OU. Joe Mixon in the backfield. They give it to him. And Mixon crosses the 30. Gets up to the 34-yard line as Anthony Tejada makes the tackle. But on the last 2 drives for Oklahoma, 7 plays, 75 yards, a touchdown. 8 plays, 53 yards, a touchdown.
And a good rhythm from their offensive line. Starting with that run game, Mayfield's with his feet, and then a couple of third down conversions as well.
2nd and 7. Mixon pitches it back. Mayfield wide open. Westbrook, and Mayfield puts it on him. 67 yards. Touchdown, OU.
To complete the flea flicker, you got to be a bit of a great actor. And Dede Westbrook did a great job of selling his block on the safety before he slipped by and downfield for a wide open touchdown.
Austin Seibert. Extra point is good. The flea flicker. Dede Westbrook sold it, and it pays off.
Oklahoma takes the lead 28-21 on a terrific play design from Baker Mayfield to Dede Westbrook, but it was the fake of the block. Watch the safety in the back end of your screen, and right here you're going to see the fake. That's the block. The ball is in Mixon's hand, and then all of a sudden he sneaks by. Mayfield puts it right on the money for a touchdown. Great design, better execution there from Westbrook.
21 unanswered points by Oklahoma. And this time it will be Graham running it back, and a flag on the play.
During the return, holding, return team number 81, 10-yard penalty, half the distance from goal, first down.
All right, let's go to Greg Wolf for a game break in Los Angeles.
Number 8, Wisconsin, 2 for 2 already against the top 10 this season. At number 4, Michigan, Alex Hornibrook to Dare Ogunbowale tied it at 7. It's now in the 4th quarter. Michigan has missed 3 field goals in this one. Gus, Joel, back to you.
All right, Michigan, Wisconsin really going at it in Ann Arbor.
Defensive battle there, 2 of the best in the country.
28-21 OU. 21 unanswered points. They found their mojo, especially defensively. Kyle Hicks steps over one defender and plows his way forward to the 15.
Big series here for TCU. You got to stop this momentum. These runs, it's almost like basketball moment. You have 21-0 run here for Oklahoma, and Gary Patterson needs a series from his offense where he gets at least a couple of first downs to rest his defense and hopefully some points on the board.
2nd and 3 at the 16. Looks like some more twitching on the line of scrimmage for TCU.
And in the backfield.
False start. Offense. Number 21. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Kyle Hicks.
And this is the problem. You can tell that Gary Patterson told Doug Meacham, the offensive coordinator, I need you to slow it down. My defense needs a rest right now. And so they're trying to slow their tempo down, but that's not in their nature. It's tough for these teams that like to go fast to actually slow down and still execute.
2nd down and 8 at the 11. Here comes a blitz. TCU picks it up. Sideline throw incomplete for Jalen Austin.
These corners for Oklahoma have played tremendous so far today. Jordan Thomas, after a couple early completions, they could have hung their head, but Jordan Thomas made a play. Stephen Parker with the interception, and the confidence has grown from there, and they've played very well here in the second quarter.
3rd down, 8 at the 11. Horned Frogs need to go to the 19-yard line for 1st down. Hill underneath, caught, and not enough for the 1st down as Desmond White makes the catch, and TCU will punt it away.
And there's the one-on-one tackle opportunity that Oklahoma has been missing all season long. They play man coverage, and you live by man coverage. Sometimes you die by man coverage, but on that play, Stephen Parker gets the job done. And Parker with an excellent tackle and forces the punt to the dangerous one, Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon at the 40. He'd love an opportunity. Nunez. This one will roll out of bounds at the 43. So 41-yard punt. Decent field position for Oklahoma with 5:35 to go. Baker Mayfield has had a day.
I thought it started with him running the football. It was clearly an objective. They wanted to get his feet on the outside, threaten the defense, and then it started opening other things up. Mayfield gets some 1st down, shows some excitement, and then the flea flicker. The threat of the run brings the safety up. Dede Westbrook wide open down the field. The rhythm and the excitement on this team is better than it's been all season long, and it starts with number 6. He's their emotional leader.
As you take a look at his numbers, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1st down and 10 at the 43. Can Oklahoma put some more points on the board before we go to halftime? Empty backfield for Baker Mayfield. Mayfield dancing around the pocket. Now Mayfield elects to run it. And he'll slide down to the 45. And a flag on the play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 78, 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. The down counts, 2nd down.
So Orlando Brown, number 78, here he is right in your screen, and he's going to shove Curry to the ground. This is not the penalty right here. It's outside of that. You're going to see him shove him a 2nd time, actually. Once Curry's on the ground, he shoves him again, and that's when the flag came out. A little extra juice there from Orlando Brown.
Richard, sophomore from Duluth, Georgia. 2nd and 25 at the 28. Mayfield drops it off. Mixon over the middle. Mixon makes a 1st man miss. And Joe Mixon gets up to the 35. Almost broke that one. Chris Bradley chops him down.
I said it earlier for Kenny Hill. This is a dangerous down. 3rd and long. As a quarterback, you can't force it into coverage just to try to get the conversion. A punt is not a bad play, in particular with how well the defense has played in this quarter. So this is where you got to rein your emotions in here if you're Baker Mayfield.
3rd and 18 at the 35. Oklahoma needs to go to the TCU 47 for a 1st down. Mayfield throws, caught. Mixon, 1st down, OU. A 22-yard gain on 3rd and 18.
And started with the protection. Great protection from the offensive line. Allowed Mayfield to watch the defense, find the holes, and find Mixon.
Now Mixon running, skipping. And it'll be dragged down at the 39. Josh Caraway with the tackle.
This defense has been on the field a long time here in this second quarter, been leaned on by that offensive line, who's played pretty well, even with a few backups in, Eric Wren and Ben Powers.
Mixon motions out of the backfield. He run remains. Mayfield fires over the middle. Caught. Westbrook again. Touchdown. Baker Mayfield put the biscuit in the basket, and he's having a heck of a first half.
You asked me earlier why ball placement was so important. Case and point. What a throw from Baker Mayfield, and OU is on a 28-0 run in the last 11 minutes.
What have they done, Joel? What has been the big adjustment offensively and defensively for this Oklahoma team?
They're winning the line of scrimmage. Their defensive line and offensive line have set up their stars for plays like this. Baker Mayfield, light it up, son.
Baker Mayfield, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and we still have 3:30 to go in the first half.
This is what I think a lot of Oklahoma fans thought they were going to see from the get-go in this season, and that was just some sensational play. Not only the big third down conversion, remember, on 3rd and 18, but also the touchdown. Just fantastic throws from Mayfield.
Isaiah Graham will take a knee. And let's go back and check in with Greg Wolf.
All right, we go to Athens. Number 11, Tennessee at number 25, Georgia. Georgia led 17-0 at one point. Joshua Dobbs to Alvin Kamara. Tennessee already with 3 double-digit comebacks this year. Cut that Georgia lead to 24-21 fourth quarter.
Tennessee with a huge win last week against Florida.
And it looked like they finally came of age. And, you know, obviously they're going to have to run the gauntlet there in the SEC. But a 35-3 run in that game in the second half. Dobbs with 4 touchdown passes in the second half. Looks like they turned the corner. I mean, we've been waiting for a long time. I don't think they've lost a game in like 320 days. So they certainly have arrived.
Oklahoma turning the corner this quarter as Hill drops it off. And it's Gray as he gets out of bounds. Oklahoma with 203 yards and 28 points in the second quarter. TCU with 61 yards, no points in the second quarter.
Wow, this defense, they found their rhythm. You know, that interception did wonders for the confidence of this defense from Stephen Parker. Got them playing with some energy. Then they got some stops at the corner position. Jordan Thomas, Micaiah Quick batted some balls down. And then all of a sudden the front 7 started playing with energy and enthusiasm and running the football.
Second down and 5 at the 30-yard line. And Hill back down. Big number 97, Charles Walker, got 2 hands on the football.
This is the difficulty when the offensive line's going to block as if it's a run play, and then the quarterback pulls the ball out and wants to throw the pass. Sometimes there's unblocked players at the line of scrimmage because of the nature of that zone scheme in the running game. Charles Walker, it's exactly what you should do. Get your hands up, back the ball down.
3rd down and 5 at the 30. Here's Hill under pressure. Hill steps up, and Hill will be taken down once again. Okoronkwo this time. No gain on the play. And TCU has to punt. They have just unraveled, Joel, in the second quarter.
Well, what Oklahoma's been able to do is start mixing up their coverage, and they've been able to blitz Kenny Hill in this second quarter because they've won on first down. They've been in advantageous situations for the defensive play caller, Mike Stoops.
Adam Nunez punts from the 16. Joe Mixon at the 30, ready to return. Mixon backpedaling. And he fair catches the ball at the 21. Well, every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon weekdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, only on FS1. You've been in there sparring with those guys, Joe. How do you do?
Well, you better be ready. One thing I realized very quickly, Skip is going to disagree with me just about everything that I say. So,
got to be like Eminem in 8 Mile. You have to beat him to the punch. You have to know what he's going to say, and you agree with him.
His head would explode. I don't think he could handle that.
First down and 10 at the 22. Mayfield handing it off to Pirine. And Samaje Pirine, who's had a great first half running the football. Stopped by Ty Summers. Pirine, 10 carries, 76 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
And just inside of 2 minutes, I think Oklahoma, this is just going to be their regular offense until they get inside of a minute. They still have a timeout. They don't have to rush necessarily just yet.
Pirine. And Samaje will get to the 30. So Bob Stoops, after a slow start, has to be pleased with the way his team has performed in the second quarter.
Best quarter of football Oklahoma has played all year long. All due respect to Louisiana Monroe, it's ULM. You know, Oklahoma did what they needed to do in the first half of this game, but against a quality opponent on the road, this is the Sooners team that we were all expecting at the beginning of this season.
Third down and 2. Mayfield in no rush now. 5 on the play clock. Pirine looking for the first down. He has it and more as he crashes forward up to the 42-yard line. Nico Small throws himself under the chariot. Samaje Pirine closing in on 100 yards. He picked up 12 there. Now Mayfield, he'll take a shot, and he lost it. Fumble. TCU has it at the 35. Galliai with the recovery. Tipa Galliai. Second sack fumble of the day.
Absolutely the last thing that Oklahoma could afford in that situation. They get a few yards from Pirine, and so they want to go quick to see if they can get some points. And then the offensive line just gets beat. Mayfield was sandwiched, loses the ball. Galliai recovers, and TCU is in business on the 35-yard line. Boy, tough. Oh, and that right leg was pinned under for Baker Mayfield.
Joseph Broadnex, Josh Caraway combining on the tackle. Now, Oklahoma gives TCU a great opportunity. Horned Frogs with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Down 35-21. Kenny Hill will let it fly. Here's Hill under pressure. Lets it go down the field. Incomplete. Taj Williams was open.
They were just able to disrupt the timing a little bit because he had him. There was a little hand fighting going down there, but Taj Williams just out of his reach. If Kenny Hill can set his feet there and is not moving around the pocket, I think that's a touchdown.
Second and 10 at the 35. 29 seconds remaining. Hill with time, near side, caught. Austin. 3 timeouts remaining for TCU as he gains 16 yards. And the Horned Frogs call a timeout. And don't forget, the State Farm Halftime Show is coming up with highlights and analysis of this game and lots more. Baker Mayfield limping into the locker room. Oklahoma getting a little greedy on that last series.
Yeah, they did. You know, they looked like they wanted to run the clock out, but then Pirine pops a little bit of a run. They sets them up with good field position before they give the ball right back to Kenny Hill in this TCU offense.
Let's see if the Horned Frogs can make the Sooners pay. First and 10 at the 19. He drops it off. Oh, that ball knocked down. Great hands again. This time it's Austin Roberts who's starting for Matt Diamond. Diamond out with an injury.
Another one of these transfers for Oklahoma. Transferred to OU after playing his sophomore season at Northeastern Oklahoma.
Second and 10, 15 seconds to go in the first half. 2 timeouts remaining for TCU. Horned Frogs having some protection issues. 5-receiver package. Here's Hill. And he decides to take off. Hill cuts it inside at the 10. Still on his feet and goes down at the 5.
Well, that's twice that TCU had the ability to get out of bounds and wasn't able to do so. First it was on the outside, but then Kenny Hill.
Second time out of the half.
And Patterson had to race down and call his timeout.
With 5 seconds to go.
As he takes off right here, this is a situation where the first down's important, but the time is more important. If he takes off right here and gets out of bounds, they have an opportunity to throw it into the end zone one more time before kicking a field goal. But by taking that 1 or 2 seconds off the clock, now it's down to 5 seconds. You're going to have to send your field goal unit out here. And remember, TCU, a couple of walk-ons as kickers. And this is one thing that Gary Patterson has lamented, is the kicking game for TCU has not been as strong as it has been in years past.
Jonathan Song, their regular place kicker, is dealing with a toe injury, so you have 2 walk-ons, Brandon Hatfield and Ryan Graff. Hatfield on the season is 3 for 3 with a long of 37. He's been handling all the PATs today, and he trots on the field, a junior from Chico Hills, California. This field goal attempt will be from 23 yards out. And it's good. So the Horned Frogs settling for the points. They'll take the 3 after a big lead in the first quarter. Oklahoma, though, counterpunching. 35-24, the score at halftime. Right now, let's go to Rob Stone in the studio.
You and welcome you to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Remember, in the bye week, Bob Stoops, he went back to fundamentals, tried to rebuild the wounded psyche of the Sooners. Baker Mayfield, one of the guys that he certainly needed to reinstill some confidence in, and he is the focus of our State Farm right combination highlight, Matt.
Yeah, it started a little shaky for Mayfield and this offensive line. You see here the early turnover, which led to a TCU touchdown. But what did they do to get back? They ran the football, coach, and it wasn't with Joe Mixon. It was with Samaje Perine, 12 carries, 91 yards there in the first half, a touchdown. And what did that do to this defense? It forced them to come up, and then that's when we saw the explosive pass plays with Mayfield, the Dede Westbrook twice in that first half. Again, I thought it was great execution. Take a look at this play, though. Baker Mayfield, he left early the half with this injury. We'll see if he's going to come back. But even more important, stick with the run game if we see Mayfield or Austin Kendall in the second half.
Yeah, 10 points off the turnovers there. I mean, obviously that's critical. But Joel Klatt alluded to it earlier. The first touchdown, Oklahoma was a little slow reacting mentally down there in the goal line. The second touchdown, there were 3 missed tackles. After that, all of a sudden, you talked about them running the ball. I think it helped their defense. Yep. They started making the one-on-one tackles. Oklahoma did against TCU in space. To me, that was the difference of it.
Well, I'll tell you, that TCU defense, early on in that first half, they were able to get some pressure on Mayfield. But it looked like they got a little bit tired in that second quarter. Maybe it was because Oklahoma got that run cranked up. But as you can see, when Mayfield was able to get some time, he was really able to make some great throws. This one right here, just a tremendous job on the fake, a little bit of a flea flicker. You can see when Mayfield gets a lot of time, just too much for that secondary for TCU. A lot of inexperience still back there. Way too much space for the Oklahoma wide receivers.
And again, we saw Mayfield walking into the locker room tail end of that first half. Their number 2 quarterback, Austin Kendall. I don't know if he had any smack talk about the vanilla TCU defense this week or not. That could be.
He's been muted. He's been muted by Bob Stoops.
We're not going to let him talk to the media after the Ohio State outburst. Speaking of the Big Ten, would Wisconsin drop another Michigan school from the ranks of the unbeaten? Remember, it was Sparty last week. Now the Wolverines on the Badgers hit list. And tough sledding for the unbeatens in the Big 12. Baylor and West Virginia in tighter affairs than most anticipated.
The first half turned out to be a tale of 2 quarters. First, it was TCU who jumped out in front 21-7 behind Kenny Hill. But then the Oklahoma running game took over. 2 first half touchdowns by Baker Mayfield, another one by Samaje Perine, allowed them to air it out. Dede Westbrook on the flea flicker. And Oklahoma rallying in the second quarter and lead the game 35-24 as we head into the second half. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt. Entertaining first half.
It really was, but I thought the key to the whole first half, other than Oklahoma's defense getting a few stops, was the energy that Baker Mayfield provided via his feet. I thought that got the entire team going. It was what he was able to do on the outside in the run game that I thought was sensational. That allowed them to get the safeties down and then throw the ball deep and down the field. And it started with this flea flicker to Dede Westbrook. Dede Westbrook has 133 yards so far, and Baker Mayfield is putting it on the money, allowing him to run after the catch. But that play is something that I think could affect the entirety of the rest of this game. Mayfield's right leg pinned under the defensive player. As we look at the Verizon first half stats, you see a very balanced first half for Oklahoma. 136 rushing yards, 194 through the air. Time of possession fairly even. The 2 turnovers from OU. One of them was that fumble from Mayfield. He came out. Gus, he's got a sleeve on the right leg, and he's got his ankle taped up. So clearly he's not 100%, but looks like he's going to go out there and give it a go. Remember, as this game last year, he was knocked out of the game with a targeting hit from Ty Summers, and that was in the second quarter as well. So second straight year that Mayfield's having to deal with some health issues against the Horned Frogs.
All right, TCU has the ball to start the second half. They've scored a touchdown on the first drive of the second half in all 4 games this season. And the third quarter has not been a good one for Oklahoma. They've been outscored 38-10 this year in quarter number 3. Second half underway from Fort Worth, Texas. And TCU will start from their own 25-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Shannon Spake.
Well, hey there, guys. So Bob Stoops told me that Baker Mayfield checked out 100%. Told me he doesn't expect him to have any issues in this second half to come out at all. Now, what was the switch that flipped for this team? Well, Bob Stoops told me they just started tackling better. They relaxed and they started doing their jobs. And Joel, to your point about that being their best quarter so far this season, I asked Stoops about that, and he said, yeah, it was.
Gotta love that affirmation.
That's right.
I mean, hey, there you go. Bob Stoops clearly happy with the way his defense was playing, but they got to carry that energy over, because if there's one thing we know based on that first quarter, it's that TCU can strike very quickly.
First down at 10 at the 25 for the Horned Frogs. Down 35-24. Kenny Hill to throw it over the middle, and it's caught by Kyle Hicks. Hicks quickly wrestled down at the 30. Charles Walker and Jordan Evans.
Great protection there from the offensive line, allowed Kenny to get through his entire progression in those drives in the second quarter. 5 of them only ending up in 3 points, and that was because Oklahoma gave him the short field right there at the end of the quarter.
Gain of 4. Second down and 6 at the 29. Hill handing it off. Hicks trying to squeeze through the hole, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage.
This is the most I've seen Mike Stoops dial up the pressure for Oklahoma's defense. Here you're going to see the blitz coming off that linebacker. And as Jordan Evans gets into the backfield, that allows that entire line of scrimmage to collapse around Hicks, and a nice successful second down play.
A gain of 1. Third down and 5 at the 30. Kenny Hill underneath and caught for first down. Jalen Austin has been excellent in this game today. numerous catches, including an early touchdown.
False start. Offense, number 2. All players were not set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Taj Williams, the wide receiver.
Yeah, that's on the quarterback. It's not on Taj Williams. I know he drives, but the quarterback has to understand when all of his players are set before he calls for the snap.
So first down and 15 at the 36. Opening series of the second half for the Horned Frogs. Hicks over the middle. And incomplete. Wow. Diar's first ball thrown to him. The LSU transfer, and that went in and out of his hands. And he had a big week last week.
He did, and he got hit hard. Victim of one of those targeting instances I was talking about earlier, but he came back 5 catches, over 125 yards after that hit, and it looked like he was going to turn into a #1 wide receiver for them, but today he just has not gotten his footing.
Second and 15 at the 36. Hill under pressure, and he's sacked again. They're roughing him up now. Matt Romar, second sack of the day for OU.
And it was Emmanuel Beal who's going to come around from his linebacker spot, and he's the one that's going to force Hill to move off of his spot, and then that pressure comes, and Okonkwo is able to get in there as well. He's their best pass rusher as an outside linebacker, and Mike Stoops done a great job dialing up the blitzes to affect the timing of Kenny Hill.
A loss of 6, third down and 21 at the 30. Here's Hill, stepping up, delivers, incomplete. Diar's closest man to the football, and TCU will punt it away. Unsuccessful on their opening drive of the second half.
And we see again that penalty on first down. It puts OU into an advantageous situation, and that's when they start dialing up the blitzes, and it's what allowed them to have success in the second quarter, and they start out with it here in the third quarter as well.
Fourth punt of the game for Adam Nunez, and Joe Mixon is the deep man. High wobbly kick. Mixon with the fair catch at the 33. Baker Mayfield, he's got the sleeve on, he's got his ankle tape, and he's ready to compete here in the second half after a spectacular first half. Fox College Football is sponsored by Cadillac, by Progressive, handing off big savings to you, and by Bud Light. Raise one to right now. 35-24, OU on top of TCU here in the third quarter as Baker Mayfield comes back into the game in the first half. He was 10 of 15, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also rushed the ball well, 8 carries, 60 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. First down and 10 at the 33. Mixon gets outside, changes hands, down the sideline. He's got a burst. Joe Mixon heading to the end zone. Down inside the 5. A 65-yard run for Joe Mixon. Tony Jones with the saving tackle. First down. Pirine lowers his head. Make that Mixon. And Mixon gets in. Joe Mixon, he got the extra 2 that he needed.
I love it. The coaching staff said, hey, you got us down here. Now you get us all the way home. And Samaje Perine congratulates his buddy on the sidelines. Here's the last run, the long one. Watch 81 Mark Andrews right here. This block on the outside, that's the key block. As Mark Andrews is blocking, he gets both number 2 Nico Small and 42 Ty Summers in that block and springs him for the big one.
And I think offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley is a very interesting character in this piece today because he's going against his natural instincts.
They are leaning on the run, and when they do so, they are virtually unbeatable. Up 42-24 here.
Way too many questions.
Fox College Football is sponsored by State Farm, here to help life go right. 42-24, OU on top of TCU. Now, a young group of fans known as the Bleacher Creatures line up and run out with the Horned Frogs at each home game here at TCU. This tradition started during Gary Patterson's tenure as head coach, and former standout receiver Josh Dotson was a Bleacher Creature as a kid. Our Traditions of the Game is sponsored by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition. Josh Dotson, first-round pick with the Washington Redskins. How about Trevon Boykin? There's a chance he could play on Sunday, tomorrow, in for Russell Wilson in the Seattle Seahawks.
We'll see. I know Russell's banged up, and boy, he was electric. I loved watching him compete a year ago doing these TCU games, so I'll be excited to see him get his opportunity in the National Football League.
Isaiah Graham will keep it in the end zone. I mean, you think about some of the players that TCU lost from a season ago. TCU and Bowling Green are the only FBS schools to lose a 3,000-yard passer, Trevon Boykin, a 1,000-yard rusher, Aaron Green, and a 1,000-yard receiver in Josh Dotson.
And then also what they are missing today is Kevontae Turpin, probably their most explosive offensive player. So from a year ago, you're missing 4 really key contributors. Kyle Hicks is the guy that they have not gotten going yet. He's only 10 carries, 51 yards so far, but it is 5 a pop. He's a guy that they've got to start getting him the ball, whether it's giving him the ball in the run game or trying to get him open in a screen or over the middle out of the backfield.
TCU finishing 11-2 last year, ranked 7th overall at the end of the season. And a timeout call by Oklahoma. And we'll step away. 12:20 to play. TCU on offense when we come back. 12:20 to go, third quarter. 42-24. Let's go to Los Angeles for game breaking Greg Wolf.
Well, incredible finish in Athens. Number 25, Georgia, took the lead on a 47-yard score with 10 seconds left, but Tennessee responds with a Hail Mary. 4 seconds to go. Joshua Dobbs to Juwan Jennings. 43-yard score, and Tennessee pulls it out. They're 5-0 for the first time since 1998. They'd win the national title that year. Guys, back to you.
I know our Charles Davis, our colleague, is really happy with his balls. Meanwhile, down the field, oh my goodness, Isaiah Graham. We'll dream about that one tonight.
Oh, the true freshman Isaiah Graham. You imagine, he knows he's wide open. He knows he's got a few steps, and if he catches this ball, it's going to the house. He was here for spring practice, ran a great route. Kenny Hill put it right on the money. Very highly recruited. Graham was the number 3 wide receiver in the state of Louisiana. Gary Patterson got him to come here to TCU, and he had a huge opportunity there.
Okoronkwo, the injured Sooner, has to be helped up, and he'll walk off the field on his own, and they give him his helmet back.
Taking him on the play.
He's their best pass rusher, and on 2nd and long, that's something that they'd like to have on the field. Solid leader, Gus, and he's one of the guys that stepped up in those players-only meetings that you mentioned and Shannon mentioned earlier. He's a guy that's played 23 career games, just a starter this year, but they need him on the field.
2nd down and 10 at the 25. And they'll hand it off to Hicks. Hicks bottled up and taken down. Charles Walker again. We've called Charles Walker's name a number of times today.
But look at all the Oklahoma helmets around the football. They are pursuing and they're tackling better than they have all season long. Every single time Hicks touches the ball in the run game, he's got 3, 4, 5 Oklahoma Sooners around him. This is the type of energy that Bob Stoops and Mike Stoops desperately wanted this team to play with from the get-go.
3rd down and 13 at the 22. Kenny Hill. Oklahoma has brought tons of pressure today. Hill, far side, and incomplete. Intended for Deontay Gray. Right now, TCU sputtering on offense.
Cannot get anything going on 1st down. It leads to pressure from Oklahoma. They get another blitz. Hill doesn't quite have time to set his feet. And Oklahoma with another stop. This defense has been tremendous ever since the start of the 2nd quarter.
Nunez will punt it from inside his own 10. Mixon, the deep man at the 35. And it will be down at the 43. 42-24. Baker Mayfield and company back on the field right after this. Let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. Oklahoma just racking up the yards.
Well, it started with their run game, and Mayfield really is the one that got that going. 223 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 plays of 20-plus yards. They've been explosive. They've done a great job. Their offensive line has given Mayfield time, and the rhythm that they have established has been as good as at any point in this season.
First down and 10. And Mayfield tucks it, runs it himself. And he'll get out of bounds. Oklahoma with touchdowns on 5 of its last 6 possessions.
And Mayfield gets on the outside, shows us exactly what Shannon told us. Was that he looks healthy. No hitch in his giddy up on that run.
Second down and 2 at midfield. Mixon popping, bursting, and finally chopped down. He almost popped free. But there to tackle him, Nico Small, after a gain of 11.
I just love his vision. You know, great backs have an ability to wait for a hole to open up, but then they've got that burst of speed that you were speaking of, Gus, when it finally does open up, and that little jump, stop, and skip. Boy, so valuable for a back.
First down and 10 at the 39. Mixon remains in the game. Mixon now going outside, strung out nicely, and he's taken down. Joseph Broadnax, Josh Caraway.
Caraway did a great job there, just staying home. Kind of squeezed the line of scrimmage, but he kept his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. As soon as you turn your shoulders, what you do is you give a seam to a great running back, and that's when they can go north and south up the seam. But Caraway did a great job on the last play.
Pirine back in, 2nd and 11 at the 40. Here's the option. Pirine downhill running, and Samaje Pirine out of bounds at the 35. But we were talking about Lincoln Riley, and Riley was asked how he felt about the 1-2 start. He said, we're angry about it, and that's not even the word I'd like to use. But we're not discouraged. We turn on the film, and we see lots of things within our control, and we can do better. They're doing better running the football today.
They absolutely are. And he said that there was some hope in the fact that even against good teams like Houston and Ohio State, they still put up yards and points. So they knew just a little bit better execution was going to lead to an explosion, and that's exactly what we've seen since the start of the second quarter.
3rd and 5 to the 34. Mayfield over the middle, and the ball caught by Vasquin, and he'll pick up a first down. But the thing about Lincoln Riley, does he go against his nature running the football as much as he has today?
You know, in their wins, when they're in this situation, he's great at just taking the air out of the ball, the air out of a stadium on the road, and running the football. He has done that so far. He's run the ball 34 times, 227 yards. It's in those losses that he can't quite rely on the run game like he probably should, and he'd be the first to tell you that.
First down and 10 at the 29 for Oklahoma. Mixon. And he goes down to the 25.
One of the things that I always will go back to is where you cut your teeth as a coach. And remember, Lincoln Riley cut his teeth under Mike Leach. And so there's a little of that true style air raid that's got to get out of his system when he's got backs like this. You know, Mike Leach is famous for saying, hey, I don't want to call run plays. You know, so Lincoln Riley for 7 years heard that from his head coach, and he's getting that out of his system a little bit.
2nd and 6 at the 25. Mixon. The combination of Mixon and Pirine, they have run the football. Pirine 97 yards rushing on 13 carries. Mixon 95 yards rushing on 13 carries. Do you think he's aware of the number of carries both players are getting?
I would hope so and hope not all at the same time. You don't want to go in and say, hey, he's got to get 10 carries. But what you do want to do is limit the amount of touches as far as being tired goes.
Third down and 4th and 23. Mixon switches sides. Mayfield to the sideline. Caught. And out of bounds. Mark Andrews with the first down. But how is decided which ball carrier gets the ball?
The way it seems like to me is that they've got a package where Mixon and Pirine are in the game together. But then, other than that, it just goes by series. You know, or when a guy gets tired, another one will come in. But it's been clear that early in the Ohio State game, it was Pirine that was the starter. Today, it was Mixon. Mixon has been more the featured guy. Pirine more of the change of pace. And that seems to be a clear directive from this coaching staff from the get-go here today.
1st and 10 at the 18. Mayfield keeps it. Mayfield ducks inside, and the flag on the play as Baker Mayfield gets to the 15. Traven Howard with the stop.
We're going to get a hold on Orlando Brown here as he was working against Josh Caraway.
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
There's big 78. Got the jersey, the outside, and as Mayfield takes off outside, the hard part for Orlando Brown is that run is designed to go in between the tackles. And so when it starts to bounce outside, he gets caught. He thinks Mayfield's going to be on his right. All of a sudden, he's on his left, and he's got that left hand gripped onto Caraway's jersey. That's an easy call for the officials.
1st down and 20 at the 27. Mayfield throws it out. Mixon cuts it inside. And Joe Mixon down at the 22. Josh Caraway again. But Oklahoma just eating up the clock right now, taking the air out of the building.
This situation, when you're in a 2nd and long, I felt as a quarterback, the best scenario is to try to get half of it back. You're trying to create a 3rd and 6 or less with this next play.
Play fake. Quick strike. Westbrook. And Westbrook dragged down to the 15. Flag on the play. Nico Small again defensively for TCU.
I thought Mark Andrews out there might have blocked in the back.
Get a little block in the back. Offense number 81. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
You know, he's been so good today. 81 right in the middle of your screen, and as he's working, it's the last shove. See, he contacts him on the side. That's Jeff Gladney, number 12, the corner. But then as the play kind of went on, he went to his back and then shoved him down with the left hand.
After further discussion, the block was deemed to be on the side. There is no foul.
Yeah,
Third down.
I like that discussion by the officials, and the replay clearly states what they have discussed and now turned. The initial contact happened on the shoulder. That is a legal block, and as the play moves past Andrews, here's where he's going to contact. That's legal, head in front, and then at this point, now it's just a little bit of a shove in the back. That's not a foul. I could see why the flag came out. That's a great conversation by the officials to pick it up.
So that brings up 3rd down and 7 at the 15. Joe Mixon in at running back. Mayfield. He's been an orchestrator. He'll throw it. Ball caught. Close to a 1st down. Looks like a 1st down for Nick Basquin.
They always go fast here. I wish we could show you the ball placement because I've said how many times, Gus, when you throw it over the middle in those tight situations, you've got to hit the frame of the wide receiver. That's exactly what Mayfield does. There was no option right there except to catch the ball for Nick Basquin. Excellent throw from Mayfield on 3rd down.
1st down and goal at the 7. Mayfield. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Andrews, the intended receiver, and this will go against TCU.
Denzel Johnson was on coverage, the safety.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. Foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Mark Andrews, what a courageous young man, diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 9. His blood levels are checked 2 or 3 times during practice and each quarter during the games.
There you see Johnson. They called it on 18, but just because he was in the vicinity late. That was Denzel Johnson, who was deemed to be on the back, holding, interfering there on the backside of Mark Andrews as Mayfield threw another brilliant pass. That was right on the money.
First down and goal at the 2. Mixon. And Mixon will not get in.
The problem with dancing around like that, like Mixon just did, is that on the goal line, your whole offense has to understand that there will be unblocked players. The math states, because the safeties are so low, that you cannot block everybody in the run front. And that's the problem. Once you dance and go sideways, you're inviting those unblocked players to the area, and then you've got to block them yourself. Be your own blocker. Mixon's unable to get in the end zone.
So Samaje Perine, who's been on the sideline for quite a while, should be refreshed. Returns. Perine. Touchdown. Second rushing touchdown of the day for Samaje Perine. And Oklahoma really dominating TCU on their home field, 48-24.
Well, how do you handle unblocked players? You bring in the hammer, Samaje Perine, BYOB. Be your own blocker. The big fella gets into the end zone.
Samaje Perine now with 98 yards rushing on 14 carries. Mixon with 96 yards rushing on 14 carries. 5 rushing touchdowns today for the Sooners.
They're just making sure here, confirming this touchdown.
And somewhere, Billy Sims, Marcus Dupree, Joe Washington, Adrian Peterson are saying that's the way we should play all the time. Those guys were pretty good, Joe.
They were better than good. You sold them short a little bit with good. This rushing game today, they've been great, dominating on the ground.
Samaje Perine, what a day, closing in on 100 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, and that young man may be the oldest looking junior in the history of the sport.
Well, he's been around for a long time, and this guy, you know, I remember he burst on the scene with that record-setting day against Kansas a few years ago, and if things continue to go like this and he gains yards like we think he can, he's going to end up, Gus, as the all-time leading rusher at the University of Oklahoma. That's something right there.
Replacing Billy Sims. And this is Isaiah Graham. Let's go to Greg Wolf for game break.
Well, back to that top 10 battle of the Big House. Late fourth quarter, Wisconsin trailing 14-7. Alex Hornibrook on 4th and 10. Unbelievable pick by Jordan Lewis. One of 3 picks thrown by Hornibrook. This would essentially ice it. Wolverines survive. They move to 5-0. Gus, Joel, back to you.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless at that play.
Did that just happen? Oh, my goodness. Jordan Lewis, one of the best defensive backs in the country. That's why their secondary is so good, along with Jabril Peppers. Boy, that defense of Michigan.
First down and 10 for TCU at their own 23. And Hill throwing the ball. Desmond White. What do the Horned Frogs need to do, Joel, to find some kind of rhythm on offense?
Well, first they've got to have success on first down. You know, being behind, I would say behind the chains like this, 2nd and 8, Gus. This is not advantageous. This is when Mike Stoops has been dialing up the pressure and they've been disrupting Kenny Hill. They've got to have more success on first down.
Here comes the pressure. Hill pulls it down, looking for the first down. And he'll get close as Okoronkwo comes up with the tackle. Don't forget, coming up, Arizona State, USC.
Great improv there from Kenny Hill. He knew he couldn't complete that pass. He had several Sooners, including big old redshirt freshman Neville Gallimore, right in his face. He was able to get himself into now this situation, which is much more manageable, 3rd and short.
3rd down, and the Horned Frogs need a yard at the 32. They run the double reverse. Gray. It goes nowhere. I tell you what, Okonkwo with the tackle, but you have to give a lot of credit to Mike Stoops for getting this defense teed up.
They have made so many mistakes in the first 3 games and missed assignments. In the first 3 games, Okonkwo would have been running with that initial play, but they stayed home. Mike Stoops has done a great job in this off week. They have an off week, and they went back to fundamentals. How do we line up? What are our keys? And do our job, and they've done that so far today.
Nunez angles this one toward the far side. Mixon with the fair catch at the 35. Now don't forget, folks, next Saturday college football doesn't get any bigger than the Red River Showdown, a rivalry that spans generations. Baker Mayfield and the Sooners take on Deontay Foreman and the Texas Longhorns. Coverage begins at 11 Eastern on FS1, and it's all streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Well, and we'll see how the rest of this ball game goes, but there are going to be 2 very different teams as far as the feelings from this week entering that showdown in the Cotton Bowl, the old Cotton Bowl. Texas, another very disappointing showing today earlier at Oklahoma State, giving up 49 points. That defense, we all certainly thought they would be better with Charlie Strong there by this point, but they sure haven't shown it.
P-Ron, and he'll go nowhere. Nicely done. The tackle made by Tipa Galeai.
Thus, we saw a run and a comeback earlier in this game. Remember, it was TCU that was up 21-7. And we saw the OU defense start getting some stops and giving their offense more chances. And that's what allowed the offensive line and Baker Mayfield to get in a rhythm. Now that's the charge for TCU. Down 49-24. You've got to get stops and give your offense more opportunities.
Oklahoma on a 42-3 run in the last 2 quarters. P-Rod bouncing off tacklers. Finally going down as Matt Boson comes up with the tackle.
Now, this is the situation that you want if you're TCU. 3rd and long. They've dialed up some pressure on Baker Mayfield in these situations earlier in the game.
Third and 13. And Mayfield tucks it, looking for the first down, still running hard, and he is close. Looks like they're going to give it to him. No, they're going to mark it short.
Just short. Remember, that ball's in the right hand, and it looks like his foot hits just a yard short of that first down of where the sticks were. It's a great spot by the officials. Right on top of it, we saw that foot hit the sideline, but what a great read. Boy, I thought he was going to have a chance to get that.
So Cyber will punt it away at the 30. And back deep, Desmond White at the 19 for the Horned Frogs. And White signaling for the fair catch, and he has it at the 15-yard line. Now don't forget, I don't know why we promote this show every time we do a game, but don't forget to check out Breaking the Huddle with Joel Klatt on Facebook. Live every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, sponsored by Dr. Pepper. I mean, you got sponsors now.
That's right.
On TV every day.
Excellent college football show. And next week, we're going to have a special edition. We'll be on live on Tuesday night. And then also 5 Eastern, 4 Central, live from the State Fair. We'll do another show on Friday night. Brian Bosworth will be there. Vince Young will be there. Gus, you're invited. We'll see if you show.
How much is the appearance fee?
Out of the goodness of your heart.
I don't know about that. Here's a flea flicker. Hill throwing deep. Porter, and it's short. Right now, TCU, Joel, seems like they're just trying anything to loosen up this Oklahoma defense.
Yeah, you know, first down has been such an Achilles heel. I'd love for them to try to get something more methodically, like 2nd and 5, and then take the shot down the field. You know, comebacks are a lot like a puzzle. I said this a couple of weeks ago. They have to be piece by piece. You don't put the entire picture together right away. And right now, they just got to have little successes.
Hill in trouble over the middle. Kyle Hicks with the catch. And that should take us to the end of the third quarter. A big
That's the end of the third quarter.
day for Oklahoma. The Sooners. Welcome back to Fox College Football, presented by Geico. Amon G. Carter Stadium here in Fort Worth, Texas, where the TCU Horned Frogs got off to a great start, but a huge second quarter by Oklahoma turned this game upside down. And right now, the Sooners lead at 49-24. Since the first quarter, Oklahoma with 346 yards, 42 points. TCU 113 yards and only 3 points. Kenny Hill over the middle. And Hill picks up the first down as Diarse makes the reception.
This defensive line for Oklahoma finally gets blocked up by that offensive line. Kenny Hill had some time, able to find an open receiver down the field.
And they'll hand it off. Kyle Hicks running, gets around the corner, and steps out of bounds.
There's that first down success. See, now 2nd and short, this is when I like to see those flea flickers and shots down the field, because you always know that you can come back on 3rd down and it's still a manageable conversion situation.
Hill, pump fake, double move. He's got a receiver. Taj Williams wide open. Touchdown TCU, 64 yards. And you called it right there, the big play. And I think the Horned Frogs heard you, Joe Clapp.
Great formation, excellent play call. It was open earlier. They've had some guys open deep. Outside receiver is Taj Williams, number 2, and he just runs right by everybody. All the OU players were worried about that wheel route from Ty Slanina, number 13. Williams wide open, and Hill finds him.
49-30. As Hatfield comes in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. 49-31, a lot of time left in this game. TCU finally waking up. Fox College Football, presented by Geico, is sponsored by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. By KFC, go Buckets, it's finger looking good. And by the Ford F-150, every other truck is history. Horned Frogs fired up now after the long touchdown by Taj Williams. Hill's 4th touchdown to 4 different receivers, and that was the first TD for TCU since 3 minutes were left in the first quarter. Joe Mixon and Jones are back deep. And this will be Mixon from the goal line. Mixon to the 20 and finally popped at the 23-yard line. Some hard hitting going on special teams. Galliai with the tackle. Let's go to Los Angeles and stop in for a game break.
To Oxford in a revenge game for number 16 Ole Miss after Memphis stunned them last year. Tigers QB Riley Ferguson picked off Zedrick Woods. 31-yard pick six made it 14-0. Rebels now lead 17-7 second quarter. Gus, Joel, back to you.
All right, SEC starting to heat up. Big win for Texas A&M today over South Carolina.
They got to win. Ole Miss, boy, they're dangerous. Best 2-loss team in the country, certainly. 500 yards of offense against Bama and Georgia this year. It's like they got it rolling against Memphis so far here today.
First down, Baker Mayfield fires it out wide. Vasquin. And Nick Vasquin, the redshirt sophomore, with the catch. He's stopped by Nico Small. And speaking of Texas A&M, our producer, Chuck McDonald, is an Aggie from Texas. We'd like to wish him happy birthday, 47 years old.
He's the head coach of this broadcast. He's done a great job.
2nd and 5 to the 28. Again, near side, Westbrook. Almost lost it, picks up the first down. But a flag on the play.
I thought TCU was offside there.
Offside. Defense, number 48. Penalties decline. Result of the play, first down.
So offside, the call against Gary Patterson's defense. Sooners with the first down at their own 37. Samaje Perine in the backfield. And Mayfield pulls it out, looking for Andrews, and Andrews unable to hold on. But Baker Mayfield, you have to give him a lot of credit for his performance. 17 and 23, 239, 2 touchdowns passing. He's rushed the ball well. Mayfield, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Against Ohio State, they said that uncharacteristically he struggled with his accuracy, missing some throws. He has not missed many throws tonight. He's been on the money down the field, some long passes that end up in the end zone because of the ball placement. He's played terrific.
2nd and 10 at the 37. Mayfield out wide to Westbrook, and Westbrook is held up and taken down. Ranthony Tejada.
This is not the sequence that I would have abandoned the run game. Right after a TCU score, the best way to take away momentum from the opposition is to hit them with a very strong run game. And they come out, get a first down because of a penalty on an offside, and then they abandon the run game on 1st and 2nd down and put them in a very precarious situation. And guess what happens? The crowd starts coming alive.
You wonder if Gary Patterson brings pressure here on 3rd down and 10. And Baker Mayfield wants a timeout. 12:33 to play, 4th quarter. 49-31 OU.
Here's some players to keep an eye on for the Nissan Heisman Watch. Donnell Pumphrey, Christian McCaffrey, and the guy in the lead on everybody's list, LaMarvelous Jackson. This guy has been absolutely insane during the course of this season. 25 touchdowns accounted for. McCaffrey, rough night last night against Washington. Pumphrey will play later, and J.T. Barrett, 21 of 29 for 238 and 4 touchdowns today in a lambasting of Rutgers as Ohio State won big, 58-0.
3rd down and 10 at the 36 for Baker Mayfield and the Oklahoma offense. Here's Mayfield looking, steps up, breaks contain. Mayfield tries to get outside, but is tripped up at the 42-yard line and will not pick up the first down. Nico Small has been terrific in the open field when it comes to bringing down backs and quarterbacks and receivers.
2nd straight series that TCU gets a stop, forcing a punt. This is exactly how you start a comeback, with pieces, scoring on the last series after a defensive stop. Now getting another stop, forcing Oklahoma to punt, and Oklahoma abandoning the run game in the last series did not help on 1st and 2nd down.
Desmond White will return it for TCU at the 15. And White with the fair catch at the 25. 11:47 to go, 4th quarter. Gary Patterson's football team down 49-31, but we know they have the ability to score points in bunches.
Kenny Hill, he's been great today, albeit he's been under duress. 38 attempts, over 300 yards. Kyle Hicks hasn't quite gotten on the pace yet, only 12 rushes, but 4.5 a pop. And Austin, 5 catches, 64 are the offensive leaders. They've had things open deep. You know, been unable to hit most of them because of the pressure on Kenny Hill. And that's because OU has won the first down battle. This is the most important down in the sequence right here.
From the 25. Hicks. He'll pick up a couple. Charles Walker defensively for the Sooners.
TCU now will try to go fast, get some tempo.
Throw it out wide. Dars wide open. He's got a receiver up high and incomplete for Jalen Austin. Dars had to lead him. He threw it short.
It's one of the first snaps I've seen TCU take under center in 2 years. You know something's up, but they're still able to get Austin behind the secondary. That is great makeup speed and a play from Jordan Thomas. Dars just couldn't quite get that ball out far enough, and Thomas was able to bat it away.
So now the Horned Frogs face with a 3rd down and 7 at the 28. Austin has been his go-to receiver. Here's Hill. Out of the pocket. Still on the move. Picks up the 1st down and gets out of bounds. He's got a burst. A 10-yard gain on 3rd and 7.
That man coverage came back to bite him. Charles Walker, 97, had a chance, but when Hill stepped out of it, lots of green grass.
Now Hill runs it again. And Hill knocked out of bounds hard. Obo. Neville Gallimore there as well.
This is the situation that OU has constantly blitzed since the start of the 2nd quarter. 2nd and long.
A lot of huffing and puffing going on now with the Oklahoma defense. Hill drops it off in the flats to Hicks. And Hicks gains 5.
You're absolutely right. Oklahoma is tired. If they don't get a stop here, they're going to have a wholesale change on that defensive front. All those linemen still standing up, slowly moving. Huge down here in this sequence. 3rd down, opportunity for Oklahoma to force a kick.
3rd down and 3 at the 46. Hill has been determined to keep the chains moving by using his legs. Williams breaks it down the sideline with speed and out of bounds at the 35. 1st down, TCU.
I love what they did there. The pressure was coming again from Oklahoma, but on the outside they just decided to make it a one-on-one. A great block there by John Dars, number 9, that transfer from LSU, senior, stepping into more of a leadership role with this TCU offense. And now Micaiah Quick.
Looks like he's cramping up. More importantly, it'll give this Oklahoma defense a chance to take a rest.
Yeah, and there was some frustration there from the TCU bench, the coaching staff. Doug Meacham, the offensive coordinator, and TCU felt like they wanted to go fast. The tempo was getting to Oklahoma. That defense for Oklahoma clearly tired. And Quick had to stretch out. There's Doug Meacham right in the center of the huddle. Boy, ever since he got here as a co-coordinator with Sonny Cumbie, this offense has been as good as it gets. Top 5 in the country in almost every category over the last few years. Of course, now having to replace Trevon Boykin, Josh Dotson, Aaron Green. There's Sonny Cumbie. Of course, a former quarterback at Texas Tech, was an assistant there before coming to TCU. Both of these guys got the hard press and sell from other schools to come and Meacham, potential head coaching opportunities. Sonny Cumbie, Texas came after him pretty strong to be their offensive coordinator, and they both chose to stay here and coach with Gary Patterson at TCU. Strong show of support.
1st down and 10 at the 39. Hill fires deep. That one's short, but caught at the goal line. What an adjustment by Emmanuel Porter. He stepped right in front of the defender and gained 38 yards.
And Thomas was right in position, but again, the underthrown ball is the most difficult to defend for a defensive back, and as evidence there with the last completion.
1st down and goal at the 2-yard line. They run it with Hill, and he gets drilled, knocked backwards. Terrific defense, Jordan Evans.
Versus Ohio State in this sector of the field from about the 15 and in. It was the fade route that killed Oklahoma. One-on-ones on the outside.
Noah Brown. Second down and goal at the 3.
That's Emmanuel Porter at the top of your screen.
They hand it off to Hicks, trying to get through the hole, and he is detained by Jordan Wade.
This is a great job by the defensive line. They stand TCU up and then get some penetration. That was 93 Jordan Wade, senior from Round Rock, Texas, getting in the backfield and making the stop.
Third down, goal at the 2.
It's got to be 4-down territory here at 8.5 minutes left.
Hill runs the option. Pitches. Hicks walks it. Great call by Meacham and Cumbie. And you can feel the momentum start to shift into the direction of the TCU Horned Frogs.
And it started with a couple of defensive stops. Great job by Kenny Hill as he's going to come out and read Okoronkwo. And he pitches it off of, but it's the blocks in the end zone that's taking care of everything. Taj Williams, number 2, getting things done on the outside.
49-37. At field. Good on the extra point. 49-38. TCU back in this game. Kyle Hicks leads TCU in both rushing and receptions so far in this game. 15 carries, 61 yards and a touchdown. 6 receptions, 81 yards and a receiving touchdown. As you look at the scoring drive for TCU, 10 plays covering 75 yards, eating up almost 4 minutes. So Kenny Hill wants the football back. I wonder if he can hit his dad's fastball right now.
Ken Hill, man, he was a heck of a pitcher with the Texas Rangers. He had a stint with Montreal as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Second in the Cy Young voting to Greg Maddux back in 1994.
You know, if there's ever a time to lean on the run game, if you're Oklahoma, this is it.
Bunts kicks it off. This time Mixon will get a shot inside his own 5. And Mixon goes down at the 25. Let's go to Greg Wolf for a game break.
Gus, thanks to Death Valley. Ed Ogeron's first game as LSU's interim head coach after Les Miles' dismissal. No Leonard Fournette out with a sprained ankle. So far, no problem. Is filling in Darius Geis, looking very Fournette-like. 42-yard touchdown. LSU leads Mizzou 7-0 first quarter. Gus, Joel, back to you.
Ed Ogeron firing Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator. They say it was his decision.
It's hard to say that was the wrong decision. You know, you got to do something more creative offensively if you're LSU. But in this ball game here, it comes down to one thing: can you run the ball? If you know that the defense knows that you have to run the ball. That's what championship medal is all about. Pirine and Mixon in the game for Oklahoma.
First down at the 25. They hand it off. Pirine. Not a lot. Ty Summers.
You know, this is where not huddling can hurt you, because this is a milk the clock style of game, and now Mayfield's got him up there at 21 on the play clock.
Pirine in the backfield. Now Mayfield taking his time.
So you're forcing him to sit at the line of scrimmage for a long time because you didn't huddle. You want to snap this inside of 5 seconds of the play clock.
And he does. Mayfield to throw. Mayfield looking. Mayfield deflected. Pirine picks it up, breaks 2 tackles, and finally goes down at the 27. About a 2-yard gain. Jeff Gladney with the tackle, so that brings up a big third down for both sides. TCU desperately needing to get off the field. Third down and 7. Westbrook in motion. They've been successful with hitches in the second half. Mayfield looking, drops it off. Andrews can't keep his feet, and Oklahoma will have to punt it away. Nick Orr.
He's going to come all the way across the formation. Andrews is, and Orr is in man coverage. It's a great call against man coverage, but then the closing speed from Orr because Andrews was stumbling. What a great stop for TCU. This defense has done one heck of a job to help get their team back in this ballgame.
Austin Seibert will punt it away from the 14. Desmond White at his own 30, ready to return. Seibert driving this ball, and it's fair caught at the 25. 49-38 Oklahoma, but Big Mo is on the side of this man, Kenny Hill. And the Horned Frogs on offense when we come back. Fox College Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. 49-38, but things starting to heat up here in Fort Worth, Texas. Remember, last year, TCU scored 16 unanswered points in the fourth quarter before losing on a failed two-point conversion. The last two games have been so exciting between these two teams. First down and 10 at the 26. Hill, play fake. Hill looking. He's got Williams. Whoa! There's Williams! 74 yards!
They're going to go for 2 here. Down 5. You want to give yourself a chance for a field goal to tie the game in the next offensive possession, but Taj Williams ran right by Micaiah Quick.
Williams, 5 catches, 210 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 5:36 remaining, an eternity. As TCU goes for 2. Hicks in the backfield. And Oklahoma calls a timeout. That's their final timeout of the game. The Sooners, a complete meltdown.
We're going to take a 60-second timeout. 60 seconds.
You can see the frustration on Bob Stoops' face.
Kenny Hill, 25 of 42, 440 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. And now he prepares to lead his guys out to go for the 2 points.
Like I said earlier, comebacks are like a puzzle, a piece at a time. Defensive stops, big plays, third down conversions, and now this, the 2-point attempt.
Here's Hill. Over the middle. Caught! 2 points. Emmanuel Porter. This joint is jumping now. 49-46. You're watching Big 12 football on FOX. Knight. Oh, picked off Dawson. What a play. Touchdown, Horned Frog. Knight lets
fade right, going up, Porter coming down with it. He caught it, touchdown! The Frogs are within 1 and 30 to 29. Bounces outside, still looking, lobs in zone. He's backed away, and the Sooners still lead it by 1.
It's been a heck of a series between these two teams over the last couple of years. This game turning out to be the same kind of excitement. 49-46, Oklahoma. TCU with 22 straight points after Oklahoma ran them 42-3.
This fourth quarter has just been ridiculous. TCU getting in stride. Taj Williams, the huge play. They got the run game going with Hicks. And then again, Hill right in stride for Taj Williams. 5 catches, 210 yards, and 2 touchdowns for number 2.
TCU has scored 3 touchdowns in 9 minutes after trailing by 25.
It started with their defense. They got 3 stops in a row. Now have a chance to get the ball back again.
Baker Mayfield, can he quiet this crowd? Drops it off underneath the B-line, and he's chopped down at the 30-yard line by Nick Orr.
I love the play call there from Lincoln Riley because it was able to get away from that defensive front, which has been so active and been very good for the last couple of series. But now, on the 2nd and 7, you got to find a way to get your playmakers the ball. Look for Joe Mixon here, number 25.
Ryan and Mixon in the backfield. Play fake. Mayfield looking, buying time, finds Westbrook, who broke open late, and he catches it, but a flag on the play on the far side.
You're going to have a man downfield. 72 Ben Powers was about 8 yards downfield.
Ineligible downfield, offense number 72. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
Left guard. You can't go further than 3 yards down the field. He's blocking right there. He's past the 3-yard mark. Right by the umpire who sees it. He's got his hand on his flag. That's the difficulty with calling a run play and having the quarterback pull it out and try to throw it down the field.
2nd and 12 at the 23. Mayfield in the shotgun with Mixon by his side. Mayfield to throw. Mayfield under pressure. Lets it go. And caught at midfield. What a throw. What a catch. Joe Mixon. A gain of 26.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, Mayfield is Houdini. He's dead to rights right there. He steps out of it, and then he throws just a beautiful ball that Mixon adjusts to. This is a running back that adjusts inside to catch the ball. Oh, my goodness. The offensive football going on right now in the fourth quarter is ridiculous.
Mixon, 5 catches, 70 yards. 1st and 10 at the 49. Mayfield running, tries to get outside, slips and goes down. Great pursuit. Flag on the play. Denzel Johnson with the tackle.
I thought that Mayfield's head turned when he went down, like Denzel Johnson may have gotten the face mask. But they're going to confer because the official that threw it was Mike DeFee from behind the play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
It's Denzel Johnson, number 30, who's in perfect position. And as Mark Andrews, 81, was trying to block him, he reached out and just got the face mask of Mayfield and turned his head ever so slightly. Mike DeFee, the head referee, was right on it. Thought it was a good call.
So just like that, Oklahoma at the TCU 36. 1st down. Mixon. And Ty Summers stops him at the 32. Oklahoma out of timeouts. TCU with 3 remaining.
This game rests on a group of people and an individual. This offensive line on 1st and 2nd down, and Baker Mayfield's decision-making and accuracy when it comes to a conversion opportunity. If they execute, they can get 1st downs and force TCU to start calling their timeouts.
2nd down and 6. Mayfield looking, throws on the move, caught out of bounds by Westbrook, and it looks like he has a 1st down. The confidence of Baker Mayfield. You know he wants this game. With all the controversy surrounding Mayfield and Gary Patterson. Patterson, according to Mayfield, pulling his scholarship after the offer was made, leaving Mayfield in the lurch, ending up walking on at Texas Tech, then transferring to Oklahoma. 1st and 10 at the 24. Mayfield to Mixon. And he squeezes through the hole and gets inside the TCU 20. And now the Horned Frogs will stop the clock at 2:15.
TCU takes its first time out of the half. 30 seconds.
Gary Patterson, the head coach, trying to rally his defense. Down 49-46, 3rd down and 4 for Oklahoma at the 18.
Their money back in these situations is Mark Andrews, number 81. And TCU is having to play man coverage and sell out to stop the run. If they do that, Andrews in a one-on-one situation in this area of the field is Oklahoma's bread and butter.
But can Baker Mayfield stay collected to make that throw? He's 21 of his last 24. 3rd down and 4. Pirine in at running back. Mayfield to throw it underneath. And they say incomplete. The ball thrown low. A.D. Miller.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. 4th down.
Mayfield's trying to take him down to the ground just so he can corral the ball. He tried to catch it with his hands, and it definitely hits the ground. I don't see if he loses control. Remember, the ball can touch the grass as long as he's still in control of it. In that right hand, it didn't look like he lost the control of the ball. I wouldn't be shocked if they reviewed this.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. That plays under further review.
Gus, it's not the ground, but the ball then has to move or he has to lose control. And that right hand, if they deem that it was firmly on the ball throughout the catch process, remember the catching process, going to the ground, you've got to secure control and then secure that going through the ground. Watch his right hand. Very difficult. The problem here is going to be that I don't know if there's enough to overturn this.
Mike Pereira joins us. Mike, this seems like a difficult call here.
Boy, really difficult call because I personally think that it's a catch, but they ruled it incomplete. And Joel makes the point that you see the ball hit the ground, but then you lose it. You don't see it. So it disappears from the shot here when he rolls over. My gut tells me it's a catch, but do you really have complete, total visual evidence to say that the ball didn't come loose?
After further review, the ruling on the field stands incomplete.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
The hunch I had as well is that I thought it was complete, that it just wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. I thought it was a good job by the replay official to stay with the call on the field.
So the Sooners bring on Austin Seibert to attempt a 35-yard field goal. He's 3 of 5 on the season. And perfect. For those of you in Arizona and California, we will take you out to the start of the Arizona State USC game momentarily. For everyone else, we will bring you that game at the immediate conclusion of ours. And what a game we have. 52-46, a $1:55 left. Here come the Horned Frogs. Horned Frogs need a touchdown. 1:55 remaining. TCU with 1 timeout as they prepare to receive. Oklahoma out of timeouts.
What a comeback from this TCU squad. Their defense bowing their neck in this fourth quarter. Remarkable resiliency, and now their offense is going to have a chance inside of 2 minutes. What a game.
Deontay Gray, John Diarse back deep. And Gray will start from the 2. Gets to the 20 and flies forward. Stopped at the 29, and it brings on Kenny Hill Jr. What a night for Hill. 25 of 42, 440 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. He's thrown 1 interception. Taj Williams has been a huge factor in this game. First down at the 28.
Note boom, the left tackle rocks back in his stance again.
False start. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now becomes so important, this first down. That's always what is the most important play of a 2-minute series, is getting the chains moved for the first time. It's vital, it's critical, and it starts with first down success.
First down at 15 at the 23. Hill under pressure, gets it away. He is clobbered as he let that one go. Obo again in the backfield.
Great pressure from Obo Okoronkwo. Told you all night, he is their best pass rusher, and he's been in Hill's face constantly. I thought for a second, and they're going to talk about this, there was not a receiver in the vicinity. Hill was in the pocket. I wouldn't be surprised here if Mike DeFee dropped his flag for an intentional grounding.
No foul on the play for intentional grounding. Quarterback was out of the pocket. Second down.
Bob Stoops is going to be pretty upset with that, and I, quite frankly, completely agree with him. There's no way Kenny Hill was out of the pocket. Stoops is livid right now. This is a huge down. Remember, intentional grounding is a loss of down as well.
And now the flag comes out.
Intentional grounding offense. The quarterback was not outside the pocket. There was no receiver in the area. Lost it down at the spot of the foul. Third down.
Here's your tackle box. It's going to move a little bit as the camera moves, but basically the paint to that Big 12. He's definitely not outside of the tackle box. I would put the tackle boxes right there. He's a yard inside of it. Although it took a while and we had the wrong announcement first, Gary Patterson's going to be upset, but Gus, that's the right call.
So 2nd and 25. Hill stepping up. Takes a short pass. And it's caught by Slanina. He'll gain 9 yards on the play. 3rd down and 14. Obviously, 4-down territory. Hill, pump fake. And he's hit and goes down. Obo again. Okoronkwo. And that makes it 4th down.
And they got 1 snap. They've been beat deep several times. TCU is going to want to tuck this over. Come up with that perfect play call. 1 snap for the game coming up.
TCU takes his 3rd and final timeout of the half.
(52-46), Oklahoma, 1:22 remaining. TCU faced with a 4th down and 20 at the 18. Taj Williams has been the go-to man for TCU. 5 catches, 210 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He wears number 2.
And Oklahoma has got to put safeties deep. Give these corners some help, and they're going to. The play here is for a defensive back. Put your heels at the 1st down marker. No one gets behind you.
4th down and 20. Kenny Hill needs time. Off his back foot. Taj Williams incomplete.
Just an impossible situation at 4th and 20. And Oklahoma's defense came up with the pressure when they needed it most. The most important series of the game, and they were able to get to Kenny Hill.
So the Oklahoma offense comes back on the field. Gary Patterson out of timeouts with 1 minute and 15 to go. Mayfield takes the knee. Let's take a look at the road ahead for OU, sponsored by Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Up next, the Red River Showdown against Texas.
And they've got revenge on their minds after losing that one a year ago. Kansas State, very good defense. They've got October 15th. Texas Tech and that high-powered offense before facing Kansas and Iowa State. What a huge win this was for Oklahoma. Bob Stoops told us his goal, win the Big 12 championship. And this was an enormous step in that direction for this OU program.
Bounce back win for Bob Stoops as he crosses the field to shake hands with Gary Patterson. The final score, 52-46, Oklahoma. Coming up, we'll get you out to the Arizona State USC game after these messages.